Oh my God, guys, it's happening. It's here. We saw it. We've all seen it. Spoiler talk starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit it.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
What's going on, Flickin' Fanatics? It is once again your host with the most, Jeff Swift, the main showrunner of the Flickin' Real Fancast, here to finally present you with Spider-Man No Way Home spoiler review. But this is actually more of a spoiler party, and big shout out to Sean for designing this beautiful overlay. Thank you so much, Sean. You make it so pretty.
Great job, Sean.
Thank you.
Was I really loud when I was told to be quiet because I was having a sip of water?
Well,
You were slamming your bottle.
I just thought somebody put a thermos in their dryer machine. That's all. But it's fine.
I'm so sorry. I was like, this is a great time to take a sip of water. And apparently it was not.
I'm just like, all right, guys, we're about to start the show. Can we please be quiet? And I'll do like,
My bad.
it's okay.
This is why I'm never going to get invited back. We end tonight.
All right, everyone. For those of you that do not know, we have Allison Salamoni making a real ruckus up there in the top left corner, depending on your point of view. We got Sean Wingblade, not only a very welcome guest today, but one of our main hosts on the show with the Sunday Speakeasy, which is now going to be the Saturday Speakeasy. Is this a speakeasy?
Is that what we're doing? We haven't. Guys, we're gonna take a note from Spin from the Reel and do a production meeting right now because we have not spoken about this in any way, shape, or form as to when the actual new show is happening. And Jesse's frozen in his.
What? I'm sorry. Was getting a phone call.
We also, and then down here.
I was getting there. I was getting around to the beautiful bearded Brandon Buckingham. How's that for alliteration? Nobody else got that.
Thanks, Jesse. I appreciate it very much. I'm so stoked. I no longer have to filter myself when talking about this movie. What we did on Thursday was so damn hard. Literally blur
this whole time.
It was so hard to not just blurt out, they fucking did it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this one more time, guys. This is our spoiler party. We're going to have guests on throughout the night. It's going to go long. It's not going to be structured in any form or fashion. But you heard it right here. Spoiler, 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 and...
Boy, you can get it. Yep. That's exactly how I sounded in the theater when Andrew Garfield came running through. Like, as soon as he turned and you saw the big white Spidey eyes, and everyone just going, no. And then he runs through it, and you see him, and then he takes his mask off, and I literally went, ah! And then I had to turn to the gentleman next to me who was very calmly watching the film, clearly a big fan, but was like being appropriate in the theater. And I had to look at him and go,
and you totally weren't.
I am so sorry, sir. My apologies. And then I turned back around, and then Tobey Maguire came in, and the same thing happened again.
I love this is in response to the poll that we have going on in the chat where I said, is this the best Spider-Man movie of all time? And the options are yes or yes with a bit of spice. And Hobbit is saying yes, but with spice means yes, but Spider-Verse still exists. I mean, in all honesty, that poll is a complete and total joke. Feel free to vote or not vote on it.
Aren't all polls just jokes?
Yeah, they mean about as much as when you sign petitions for actors to be either added or removed from a project. It means about that much.
They mean as much as the
reboot the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
As much as the rule book in the movie trivia showdown is about how much these bowls.
More of a guideline.
Too soon, Allison. It will remain to be too soon.
I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt on that one. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right. Well,
It's
anyways.
it's not too soon. It's about 10 months too late.
Before, I mean, we obviously dropped.
Look at Party J over here with his going for his
dude.
fourth
He's doing
viewing for
everything he can to contribute to that massive opening. Like,
I
Party's just
love
doing
it. So
I
much.
was very wrong on the opening weekend for this movie already.
Okay, I thought I was being out. I was like, all right, I'm gonna be the one person go outrageous. I said 215.
Well, 215 is kind of where I had it, but like that was me being optimistic, and that was also after acquiring new information. I started out at like 175.
Right.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people say 150, and they were like, that was being like fair.
Well,
Isn't it gonna be like 240 though? Isn't it gonna be like 240? I think that's what I saw.
Well,
That's
I mean,
what
it's
Variety's
on the
saying.
Saturday. Like people can predict everything, but we won't know until like Sunday night about what it's going to be. I knew pretty much for a fact it was going to double the pre-existing COVID era record, which is 90 by Venom by Carch. It has like,
Right.
pretty
It
much.
just 90, I think. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It got 120 just on Friday alone.
Right.
That's
amazing.
Yeah, I guess it was, and then plus the 50. Hang on, is it at 120? I think it's at 120 domestic on Friday, isn't it?
I thought it was 120 just for Friday
because
alone.
On Thursday it got 50 domestic, plus it had 50 world. Well, I guess we're not looking at worldwide box office. We're just looking at. Maybe you're right then. You're probably right. I'm gonna stop rambling. But anyways, Allison and I were speaking before the show. This is going to be about more than just a review of the movie. It's going to be kind of more of a chaotic discussion, but we also want to talk about the journey of No Way Home. From first finding out that there was going to be another Spider-Man movie, and we slowly started getting details. Jamie Foxx was one of the first announced things that we got for the movie, coming back as Electro, and then there was...
and we're all like, how?
Yeah, and then there was a conversation where he's like, oh, I'm coming back, but I'm not blue. And then like Alfred Molina, and we're all like, whoa. And it was at that moment that everyone's like, Toby and Andrew are going to be in this movie. It's been like a year of us all like, they're in this movie.
I will say this. Andrew Garfield deserves an Oscar or some sort of award for what he did doing press for anything in the last year.
Absolutely.
He did like he really made me question if he's really in this movie.
Well, he deserves an award for a humanitarian award. Try not to spoil this movie for everyone.
Someone who was sitting behind me dressed up in a Spider-Man costume during my second viewing when he popped out with liar. It made me laugh really hard.
Liar.
He was the wolf all along, or werewolf, or whatever it is.
He probably signed an NDA so he couldn't come out and say it. And unlike Alfred Molina,
well, you can also say no comment. He was like actively going out of his way. But I have something to share with everybody, and that is that Flick and Reel, as of right now, has upped their special effects budget, and we can now announce that we have a new arrival coming onto the show right now.
Is this how he does it?
Oh, it's Amber!
Hey! Oh, hi,
Show me Peter Parker. Show me Peter Parker.
Hold on while I take off my mask. Oh, it's me.
You gotta all right, prove it. Jump to the ceiling.
Harrison,
Let
what's
me just
going on?
jump up and hang from the ceiling.
All right, now
That's
crawl
not
around.
all I can do right now, considering that my ankle's broken still.
It doesn't heal overnight, baby.
It's gonna throw bread.
Maybe if you were Spider Amber.
Spider
Does he have
Bird.
superhero?
I was
Spider
going
Bird.
to say that.
I love that.
I got it.
Spider-Bird.
Does
Has
whatever a
anyone
Spider
seen-
Bird can.
This is what you guys are getting tonight.
I
this is
love
gonna be
it.
Fun.
You're getting
I-
Cheers.
Maxwell.
Spider
I'm drinking-
Hamper.
Drinking wine with
I
ice.
Definitely tipsy plus.
I love it.
I
Maxwell
cannot
said-
see any of you.
I thought
You.
I had Maxwell's number saved in my phone, and I just get a text that just said like, "What is it?" It's like,
Oh my God.
"Hi, I'm half tipsy, I'm tipsy, and I adore you." And I'm like, "Haha, who's this?" And then I was like, "Oh shit, it's Maxwell." I'm sorry.
It's me. Listen, let me just say, I am a serious cinephile. I love the
Yes.
works of like Almodovar and Kurosawa.
What are
Like
you doing watching
Spider-Man-
this movie? It's not
Spider-Man
cinema.
No Way
Right?
Home is fucking dope as hell. Like it made me as happy as any movie.
Hold up.
It was
Yes.
so dope.
Spider-Man.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna get in touch with my inner Jew and say it's Spiderman.
Spiderman.
And this is full spoilers, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The great thing about Spiderman No Way Home is that we get all live action Spiderman together.
What have we done?
And I would love to have a foursome with all Spiderman. Maybe not Toby, but like if like Andrew was on top and Tom was on bottom, like fucking
I'm sorry, that's the wrong clip. I was looking for this one.
yes.
This is where we are now.
Where did you get that? That wasn't even in the
Spider-Man
brands.
Listen, if we're taking
Spiderman. It's the law offices of Spiderman, and Spiderman.
and all Spidermans agree that Andrew Garfield is the sexiest Spiderman.
Can we
Can I-
take a moment?
Can I
to
just
talk-
have
Whoa.
Matt Murdock be my lawyer? That'd be
Yes.
I'm glad
I
you said
would-
that. That's exactly where I was going.
Brooks. Thank you.
That's
And he's
exactly
like,
where I was
I'm a
going.
really good lawyer.
I'm a
Because
really good
we
lawyer.
have John Favreau, the original Foggy Nelson, in a scene with the
know.
current Matt Murdock.
Yeah, that was
What?
I didn't even put that together at the moment.
I didn't
That's-
until now.
Until now,
Wait.
yeah.
Wait, John Favreau's in the Ben Affleck Daredevil, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
Foggy Nelson.
Yeah, he
But they
played
just-
Foggy.
As
Nelson.
Foggy.
Wow.
Yeah,
That was
pretty great.
exciting. That was exciting. That was a real big pop. That was real fun in the theater. I loved being
He's
in
just
the
like,
theater.
He caught the thing.
Yeah. And then he's like, how'd you do that? Because no one knows he's Daredevil.
He goes,
He's
I'm a
like,
good lawyer.
I'm a really good lawyer.
But my question is he the Netflix Daredevil, or just is he playing a version of
They
Daredevil?
haven't said that yet.
My
They haven't said whether it's a
my
sub reboot or not.
assumption of okay. Are we doing Hawkeye spoilers too?
I mean,
I think,
if-
yeah.
if you-
My assumption about both Charlie Cox in No Way Home and Vincent D'Onofrio in Hawkeye is that they are variants of the versions we saw in the Daredevil Netflix series.
Here's my take. I think everyone's
Because they're
thinking
both
about.
so perfect in the role that to recast them would do a disservice to them.
I agree.
But I don't think they will be fully beholden to the canon that happened in those shows.
I think
Until
everyone's
otherwise
thinking
proven.
about it
Yeah.
way too hard and expecting too much. I think they're just doing it, and the Netflix stuff, like, you know, it's there. They're not going to address it, and they're probably not going to say one way or the other. They're just going to move forward, be like, "This is Kingpin. This is Matt
Which is
Murdock."
fine.
You recognize them, and
Right.
it's just going to go. I don't think they're going to. It's not going to be a variant. They're probably not going to make a reference to the shows. It's just, it's
That's fair.
there. And I don't think
It's
Netflix
something
like.
that they can do.
Yeah, Netflix doesn't have anything that contradicts the MCU, really. So, like, if you want to headcanon, say that Netflix is.
Well, So the Netflix. So I did a little bit of research and I've watched some videos about this. The Netflix series were done by Marvel Television, which is a completely different area of Marvel than
it's like Perlmutter.
Studios. So
I can just go off and jump off a bridge.
yeah,
That's all
and
I'll say.
and what I'm thinking, I think that it would do a disservice if they completely retconned everything that the Marvel television shows did. But I mean, back in the day, it was a one-way train. The shows referenced the movies, but the movies never referenced the shows at all. Like they threw in some veiled references and yada yada, but never ever brought up anything that was important. But now they have a chance to kind of, well, you know, this might have happened, but I mean, they really don't have to do anything. I don't know what.
There's like a real thin line, I think, between like the MCU and Netflix, where it's like you can take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a safe place for them to be.
And either way, I don't think they do any dishonor to their own storytelling.
I think we'll just go. And I think then there's things like we'll never see Finn Jones as Iron Fist again. I think Kevin Feige
he was like, if you were to take the most mediocre white man possible and then like go to the depths of mediocrity that's possible, Finn Jones would be below that as that role. Like he was like if you look in the dictionary of the world mediocre white man, like Finn Jones doesn't even. Oh.
Ben Jones is in the lobby.
What?
Oh.
He's coming through the
Here
screen.
to argue. Can you hand me some of them?
I will fight you, Finn Jones, with my
Can you-
fists
Yes.
and my
This. this. I was all over Facebook, and I was like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna specifically spoil anything about Spider-Man,
So okay,
but stay through the credits.
well,
I just
Amber and I have
posted it.
seen it twice. The first time we saw it, we were like, "Wait, who is that?" We couldn't
Danny
place.
Rojas. I
And
was
then we're
saying
like,
it
"Wait, football is life."
Venom is live.
when I came out of the theater. I was
love
going,
that.
Danny Rojas, Danny Rojas.
Wait, okay. Do we think he's going to be the Venom in the MCU because the symbiote's right next to him? Do they think they had bigger
I
casting plans?
mean, they could definitely do a scene with him.
God,
I bet by the time they filmed that, a year and a half ago, and then how much Ted Lasso has taken off, his star power has definitely rose.
Have we noticed
So I
that
wonder.
2 members of the Ted Lasso, like the team, are now in the MCU because Sam is in Hawkeye.
Oh, he is.
Sam is
he?
handing out flyers in the middle of Times Square in Hawkeye.
She's right.
I
Obasanya?
don't remember that.
Wow, I have to go back and watch that. Look at
Yeah.
that.
I didn't
I
recognize
just
him.
saw that Kumail Nanjiani was in the DC universe. If you have ever watched the College Humor Batman skits, he's in the Batman Finding His Voice skit. Jeremiah, to answer this, I think that like Netflix was just then lapsing the
Listen.
rights to.
For my contextual understanding of the Portal scene is it is only people Wong was aware of up until that point. And if Wong had not met him yet, that's why. It's simple. Also,
Can you imagine a blind man with like a million aliens running around him, just like sensory overload?
All right, well, now it's just the Amber show.
His name, his initials are
his
Bong. Benedict Wong deserves all of our
Bing bong.
Bing Wong.
What am I missing here?
This is John
You're
Lestrino's
not
bit.
missing anything.
No,
John, that was in the
I looked at
super
the comment
secret spoiler
before.
review that we haven't started. yet.
Listrina. Wait, what did he say when Doc?
It was trademark Listrina. Honestly.
All right, guys, let's.
Oh, that was perfect.
So,
Listrina.
focus up.
I love it so
Darren,
much.
100%. Anyone who's doing because we get to see damage control again in the movie, and
Mhm.
they're not controlling the damage. It's more like damage cleanup. You're not controlling shit, but you have constant job security forever. And when you live in this universe and like the Dragon Ball Z universe and the Godzilla universe, like you have just constant job security. If you're in construction, you should be balling. 100%.
Well, that's what happened. That's how we get the Vulture, right? Because they're in all this construction and then they get dicked over, and then Michael Keaton's like, let me steal all this alien tech and sell it. And now we have the perfect culmination of those two movies into
Amber,
what was
what
No
does
Way Home.
Danny DeVito have to say?
I was going to ask the same thing.
Danny.
Wait,
Danny
Okay.
Rojas, Danny.
listen. One assumes that Danny DeVito is here, but then
Ooh.
magic, he's gone.
You splattered Danny DeVito?
It's all red. There's so much blood.
He got blipped.
Say the magic word.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito.
I was going to say Trash Man, but that works too.
He's back. I bought this for someone a couple years ago as a white elephant gift, and I loved it too much to get rid of it. Mine.
Whoa.
Jesse,
Thanks,
why do you
Taylor.
keep playing that?
Oh, that big hug. Oh my God, can we please laugh at the line where Andrew Garfield asks
You're in so much
Tobey
pain.
Maguire if he was gonna go fight the bad guys dressed as a youth pastor.
I thought that was great. And then he's just like,
I literally said that Toby looks like he could be a youth pastor. Also, so over the last week, I've watched all 5 of the prior Spider-Man movies, not
Same.
including obviously the Holland movies because I know them backward.
Yeah.
And I had never seen the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I am very
Ever?
different than
Okay.
most people, and I loved them.
I love
I
Andrew
like
Garfield.
I
I
like
do-
Andrew and Emma.
Okay.
Hear me out. I think Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone had a better, more convincing romance
Yes.
than anything that happened in the first 3 movies. I
Yes.
literally want to yeet Kirsten Dunst's Mary Jane Watson
They have
off the
it's
planet.
It's dual
Every time.
toxicity. Both
Every
Peter and
time.
MJ are toxic
I'm
together.
like, why didn't we succeed with getting her out of here?
I like the
What the fuck?
I like the Amazing Spider-Man as an origin story for Peter Parker better than Raimi's original.
Yes.
Spider-Man 2 is better than both Amazings in my opinion.
Let's get the Spider hot takes going. I think Spider-Man 1 is the best of the Raimi trilogy. That's my hot take because
that is a hot take.
That is a hot take.
I think 2 has Alfred Molina, and that's it.
Department to take care of my burns from that one. Ouch.
We got William Harold in the chat saying, just got home from seeing this again. You say again, I want to know how many times is that now? I'm seeing it for a third time on Monday.
One thing that has me curious is when were all of the villains taken? Is what I want to know.
Right.
No, when did they all come through?
Alfred Molina, it feels like it was he had just captured
Cheryl,
Spider-Man
go.
and gave him to Harry. Like I feel like it was around that time.
Cheryl, you are in the wrong place. Unless if you care about spoilers, leave now. Save yourself. Run away. Sorry.
Yeah,
just run. Also,
3, 2, 1, go.
Pretty sure Max Dillon doesn't know Peter Spider-Man.
Yes, so that was definitely a plot hole. I didn't catch it first.
It's not a big deal though. It's like it's fine.
Ruined.
I was trying because I just watched it and I was trying to remember.
Are you okay?
I'm thinking like, oh, he was part of the electrical grid. Maybe he tapped into some like documents or financials or like data on the internet. I don't know. I was basically trying to
we're
cover
taking
up
the spell
butthole.
too literally because as Doctor Strange said, you changed the spell 6 times, which she corrects and says 5 times. And my splano vision for this is that the spell just got so altered it's not the original spell anymore.
Yeah.
And so like stuff happened. And so like people that knew Spider-Man got
nobody understood what happened to the spell by the end of it.
Yeah.
If I may.
No.
I just don't give a shit. Like Jamie Foxx is so much better in No Way Home than he is in Amazing Spider-Man 2 because he actually
so much better.
The way I think he, as an actor and a human, would have wanted to do it. That the fact that he doesn't, in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, know that Peter was Spider-Man just doesn't matter because Jamie in this movie is dope. He has.
Can we take a moment?
He has great humor. He's hot. Like, who cares?
Are you literally just gonna leave me naked here? In the forest.
That was so hysterical. And then the next thing you see is him zapped in like a firefighter's costume. I was like, oh, are you unique? I was like, can we just all agree that Rhys Ifans' lizard was still as lame as the first time?
Worse.
Definitely.
He's the worst of the 5 villains in this movie.
And can we all do we agree that the nostalgia of seeing Doc Ock like redeemed was just absolutely chef's kiss?
Mm-hmm.
And
okay.
I mean, Willem Dafoe is
when
just...
he saw Toby.
I will argue that in this movie, Willem Dafoe is the best of the villains. But overall, Alfred Molina as Doc Ock has been my favorite Spider-Man villain. So to see him back,
I am the captain now.
And to get his redemption has been great. Was great.
Okay,
Captain. Just so that we can like a semblance of small.
What do you think this is?
I know. I just want to start talking about. We don't have to follow this, but I want to start talking about the beginning a little bit, just so that we don't forget things and lose things. Then we can kind of bounce around as we go around. But like, I love the way that this film kicked off right from Far From Home, and that feeling of it's like celebrity horror. It's like the worst kind of being a celebrity. Yeah, exactly. Sean is a celebrity whore.
I have one pet peeve though about this movie with like everything. So whenever things it's the same issue that I have with like Cobra Kai too. Whenever anything picks up right where the last one ended.
I think
I think she told this to us after
because I didn't want to like spoil anything. But when you can visibly see like physical changes or like when someone's voice changes or things like that, like I understand it's just life in general, but it's so frustrating because it's supposed to like pick up right in that moment. So everyone should look as close to the same as possible. Meanwhile, like Ned has lost weight, and I'm pretty sure he got new teeth between
Well, I mean,
Far From Home and
Allison. So these are called movies.
I know
This is not a documentary. People have lives.
You can't just make
Let me just
No, I know, and I know it's a dumb pet peeve, but it's like it's like
congratulations, Jacob, you're rich now, so no, you can't have those new teeth before this new movie.
Right.
But maybe at the part where you lose your memory of everything by the end,
then we can. Works for us. Yeah. Look, I know it's petty, but just something that I noticed that it threw me off for a hot second.
It's definitely a thing that happens. I hear you.
I love this callback from Hobbit.
Yeah.
He says, I don't know if it's supposed to be, but Peter and Ned just makes me think, dude, yeah. And then it's like, dude. Or, yeah,
literally what they did was me when I saw Toby and Andrew. I'm like, dude.
Aw, Maddie Gunner, you guys. Look at this guy.
Sorry, woman.
Hi, Maddie.
That is high praise because that man loves that movie.
I want to go to William Harold for a second because this makes me think instantly of Trevor Slattery in Shang-Chi talking about the apes acting. They're pretending to ride horses. Okay, nobody thinks this is as funny as I do?
No, it was funny as hell. I feel it.
Anyways,
I wasn't listening.
I exit my own stream. I love the chaotic energy, and I think they had a really good what do you call it? Just like the beat, the pacing of the first scene where it felt almost like one continuous shot a little bit. I mean, obviously it was clearly broken up. It's not like they tried to pretend that it was one shot, but it was also kinetic is the word I'm looking for. I guess it was just a lot of kinetic.
I'll tell you what, I don't know you Polar Knights, but I appreciate that comment. That's hilarious. You got this guy over here, you got me, and then you got Buck.
Polar Knights, welcome.
Where's Scott?
Welcome
get
to
a
the
picture
show.
of Scott up here.
Oh my god.
I'll make that happen. Anyways, yeah, welcome to the spoiler chat. And if you aren't already, please follow us on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube and stuff. We appreciate it greatly.
And here's a picture of co-host number 4. There it
is.
Oh, that's his micro beard, though. You should have seen them.
Oh, it was much bigger.
Yeah.
I don't have one. Sorry, guys. I'm out. Clean shaved. Do better. Let me try harder.
Do better.
I have no beard.
Can we also talk about a pretty big reveal in like the first half hour? Wong is actually the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes, yeah, they did touch on that.
Which makes sense. His post-credit scene in Shang-Chi makes a lot more sense now.
Also, I have been screaming to the heavens since Infinity War. Every time people talk about Infinity War and reference Doctor Strange as the Sorcerer Supreme, I said never once yet has he been called the Sorcerer Supreme, nor would they do that story off camera. He has not earned or received that title. He doesn't go from his first movie and then off screen become the Sorcerer Supreme after being like Doctor Strange for a couple of years. No, I think Multiverse of Madness is going to be where he becomes the Sorcerer Supreme because he's got a lot more to do.
Yeah, and because they showed that 100% in the trailer. Maddie, explain yourself. Don't exit. Come back.
It's the Lego, the little Lego at the end.
By the way,
PJ, yes.
PJ, get your butt in here.
Yeah, PJ, you have the link. Hop on in, sir.
Yes.
Shout out to Polar Knights. Thank you for subscribing, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. Way to go, bud.
So yeah, I think it did make better use of Palpatine.
Yes, just the one little moment. Dink.
I love when they don't romanticize swinging with Spider-Man and just the hectic nature of it. It's like, hey, I'm so sorry, but I can't see with your hand in my face.
Yes.
And it goes from there to them getting into Aunt May's apartment. And it was, it's a cheap joke, but I love Happy walking in on them while they're like mid-changing. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'll just... And then Aunt May's just like, practice safe. Oh, hey, it's you're MJ.
Are you MJ?
Can we oogle at Tom Holland for a moment and how jacked he was, especially for being such a small frame person?
But can we also appreciate the throwback of the "I survived my trip to NYC" T-shirt?
Yeah,
from
that used to be like
Homecoming.
this huge baggy shirt in Homecoming, and he grew into it.
Oh, he
That-
did for sure.
That's
he
why
sure
he-
did.
He's ripped as that man has been working out hardcore the last few
Nathan
years.
Drake workout.
Did we talk about Peter's lawyer?
We did
Yes,
talk
we
about
did.
Peter's lawyer.
Yes, we did.
We touched on Matt for a
We
moment.
will very shortly talk more about Peter's lawyer.
Yes, 100%.
What? All right.
Yeah,
We're
I'd
actually,
say, yeah, $1
I
worth it.
want to stay on the talking about Matt Murdock. Where's the next place we think he'll show up?
Andy, yes, but he does mention. He says being gone for 5 years will do that to you. So they have to give the Sorcerer Supreme title to someone.
I don't
Especially
think
if Wong wasn't
they
snapped away.
actually called him the Sorcerer Supreme. I think they made a reference to like there being like a Sorcerer
I
Supreme.
think
or, like,
because he had the time stone.
yeah,
Basically, it was his.
apparently, yeah, which he doesn't have anymore. So now he's got to earn his stripes. What were you just saying, Sean? Because I had something to go off of that.
I don't know. That's it.
We're
Said
doing
a lot
great.
of things.
In the
Said a lot.
words of
We're doing
Yelena,
great. We're staying on track.
We're all fine here. Everything's
No,
fine. How are you?
when I saw his cane, I'm like, yes. Like my first showing, everyone absolutely erupted. Second showing, really, no one was like, oh. So, I just
yeah. So I opposite. My first showing was like pretty fun. My second showing, there was like a group of like 4 or 5 guys behind me that actually made me cry because of their hype.
Aw.
When
There was
when
a guy that was sitting in front of me that did standing ovations when
I love
like
it.
big things happened, and I was so happy for him.
Mhm.
I was so
that's-
happy for him.
I can't mesh with people that are like, oh, I always wait like 2 weeks when the big movies come out because I don't want to be part of that crowd. I'm like, that's why you
The
go.
best crowd.
That's
I
my wife.
literally-
I'm taking this off. That's my wife. She's like, I hate when people clap. I'm like, well,
Maddie.
I'm going opening night.
Maddie, that's how good Matt Murdock is. There is no trial.
Right. They didn't need one.
It didn't sound like there was a trial. He just showed up. It's like, well, your legal
Yeah.
charges are.
Yeah, he's like, hey,
We're good.
they're dropping the charges, but they're
There
suing
were
you.
no trials for
Sorry,
Peter now.
Foggy.
Happy might be in trouble.
Yeah, but
Foggy's
then he
We'll
says
see down the road.
was it the court of public opinion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't remember hearing. I think I told you guys we talked about it somewhere, but like I don't remember hearing cheers and clapping or anything as loud as that since, Captain America picking up Thor's hammer in Endgame. Like I do not
Spoilers.
remember from 2019.
Yes. 2
I
years
So-
spoilers.
It felt so goddamn good.
So that girl in my theater was named Jake Berlin. And he was hollering so loud. He's like, let's go.
Okay, here's what
It's-
I
it's
love.
great.
Sean was just telling me a few days ago. He's like, Jake's often very reserved, and I have no idea how he feels about a movie until we like get into the car and he tells me. And then Sean's like, he was screaming the entire movie. So did he like it?
I think he
So
loved it.
what
I
did
think he
Jake Berlin think?
Well,
he loved
Jake
it.
has the link, so
he-
Jake should come in.
Yeah,
Jake
has-
should come in.
he was quite excited
Oh,
after
that's awesome.
I'm pretty sure we spoiled it because we stood outside the theater. There was about a group of 8 or 9 of us, and the next showing was about to start. I'm pretty sure we spoiled it for some people walking in.
Maddie,
I'm sorry.
That's
We got
not
excited.
happening.
It's not happening.
It's not under the Disney umbrella because you can do a PG-13 Daredevil pretty easily. You can do a PG-13 Kingpin pretty easily. Punisher doesn't work. The only reason we're going to be able to do
Bernthal said that he wouldn't do
He
it.
does not want to do a watered down Punisher.
and the only
At
reason
all.
you can do Blade is because you can do violent things against vampires and get away with it. And
Sure.
like what they did in the original one was more so rated R for swearing because he would stab a vampire and they turn to dust. If you want to do that, you can do that all day. Cut off heads, turn to dust. It's fine. But Punisher is a different kind of brutality, and I just don't think that they can get away.
He
with
just say he's not reserved.
Oh yeah, I do. I love this. This is not related, but the Matrix has got to live up to after this film. It's not going to, but it doesn't have to. I think all the Matrix needs to do is be the second best Matrix movie, right?
It's not that
Am I
hard.
wrong? Yeah.
It's not that hard.
No, just
Mine
if
too.
it doesn't completely suck. By the way, I'm seeing it Wednesday night, so we'll probably do some kind of review or something like that. Yeah, PJ, Deadpool 3 is going to be R. They've already said that they're going to continue that and keep it separate, but I don't think they're going to have anything MCU proper be rated R. Or Deadpool already has a brand. And
PJ Campbell has the link. It should just come in and talk with us about all of
yeah,
this.
argue with me in person. So that
Are you,
can
if you
kick
have
you
your
off
robe
in your
handy,
career.
put your fluffy robe on and get in here, sir.
Actually, I don't even want to see PJ. I just want Dipper on stream.
That's all I want too. That's all.
Just hold them up like this.
Just hold
him
him up.
watching.
I don't even see PJ's face.
Yes, Deadpool 3 is going to be R, but in such a comedic way because that's what a Deadpool movie is. I don't know if they would go hard or violent, just all for violence sake, which is a lot what Punisher is, or at least I would imagine it would be. But they could do it. I don't know. It'd be weird. You have to have the right supporting cast, like in other characters, to maybe like force him to tone it down, like that type of thing.
That is one thing I loved about this movie. There were so many supporting characters, but it was always from the jump Tom Holland's movie.
That's a good one.
I'm just now.
It was that meta.
I'm just now getting into our chat where Sean was making reference to Allison at the beginning of the stream with Bart.
I'm sorry. I thought I was muted and I just took a sip of water. Jake Berlin, you have the link. You better fucking get in here.
Get on here and shoot your shot and geek out because I want to.
I really am so sorry about being loud. I honest to God thought I hit mute and I must have like double tapped it real quick.
Everyone be quiet. Tick, 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 tick.
Just lighten up.
I'm never getting invited back ever again.
One part, or like the part of this movie that is a little bit slow is the parts leading up to the bridge. I feel like once we get to the bridge scene, that's when it starts to heighten up a little bit. But they had to lay a little bit of groundwork because we needed to find out the motivation for Tom's Parker. That's why he was doing it.
Jake, I don't know how much fun you had. It sounds like you need to come and tell us about it. I'm just saying.
I agree with that because I think the way they played it too in the movie is like we think for a moment that the spell was contained.
Silence on set.
Zach M here says I love a good ASMR movie discussion, so I just want to talk to Zach a minute about Spider-Man No Way Home spoilers.
Zach. Thank you for even though Zach hasn't seen the movie.
I appreciate you. He definitely hasn't seen the movie.
I hasn't seen the movie, so
Star Wars.
I will not tell Zach how surprised I was to see Paul Giamatti in a comic-accurate Rhino suit. It really was snug around the crotch.
If you say Paul Giamatti, AJ Lancaster appears.
This is also true.
So, speaking of the bridge scene and things I want to comment on, I think the movie is actually paced pretty well. It does slow down for a minute when we get all the MIT stuff, but like Buck says, we have to set that up. We have to set up his motivation.
I love how Doctor Strange is like, you didn't fucking call. You made me do this very controversial
spell, and you
didn't call MIT. He's like.
For those of you that don't know, I'm a Doctor Strange simp. When I got married, I had Doctor Strange cufflinks and a tie clip. We're all Doctor Strange.
That's hilarious. Watching
this movie twice now, every time anything happens with Doctor Strange, I always look over at Lauren and I'm like, that's Bay. That's Bay.
That's our guy.
And yeah, when he grabs the little floating cylinder thing, just pushes it aside, he goes, I'm sorry. And then promptly kicks him out. I love the looks that he gives Peter. And I was talking about this earlier. One of my favorite moments of the whole movie might actually be Peter and Steven fighting through the mirror dimension.
That was fun.
So cool.
Sick.
And he was just like, what's cooler than magic?
Math.
And again,
hey, I'm good at math.
As crowded as this movie is.
It's just geometry?
And
it's really not that crowded.
Well, I mean, it doesn't feel crowded, but I'm saying there's all these villains. There is, yes, 2 other Spider-Men. There's all these side characters with Ned, MJ, Aunt May, Happy Hogan. It seems like it should be really dense, but out of all 3 movies, this is the most Peter Parker we've ever gotten, and also the best arc we've gotten for the character.
Yeah.
The best relationships we've had him build with his friends. And it's amazing the amount of things that they're able to tie in between, like the action bits and stuff. This movie both feels like the biggest and the smallest at the same time. It feels so Peter focused. And the way they pulled that off, I find to be absolutely astounding.
Yeah.
Jake Berlin says it's a known fact that math isn't better than magic. Say that to Peter's face.
Peter would disagree,
Say.
sir.
Just
Also,
saying.
if you guys have any...
Jake Berlin talks a lot of shit for someone who's just in a chat that could come in here and talk with us. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
he's biased because Berlin rhymes with Merlin, and so he's probably that's magic or something. He probably gets a tingle in his hand. Check your check with your physician.
Check with your physician. Hi, Jake Yakavetta. Jake's here.
Jake Yakavetta, hey, buddy.
Love Jake.
I wish I could time out Jake.
And you said this is Darren, right? 646?
Yes.
Darren. Yeah, Darren says Tom showed some good emotion in this film. Looking forward to seeing his other projects. Another thing I was talking about is after watching this movie a couple times and now having seen the Uncharted trailer about 10 times, I'm opening up to the movie as being an entertaining ride.
Uncharted.
Maybe not the greatest thing in the world, but I think it might be more fun than it'll actually be a decent representation of the game. I'm sure it will probably fall short of that. Jake Merlin, it's canon now. Don't tell me I'm the first person to make that joke. I can't possibly be.
You might be.
I've been thinking about that for months. I just never said it because it's just like seemed dumb. But apparently it's canon now, and Jake has to legally change it. I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Let me tell you something. As someone who is married and had to go change their last name, it's now been almost
Salamander.
Just pretty much.
Salamander.
It has now been almost 4.5 years, and I'm still finding shit that still has my maiden name on it, and I'm so annoyed by it because I'm like, God damn it.
Something showed up in the mail for my wife, and my kids were like, "Who is this?" And I was like, "That's your mom."
Jesse, your dumb puns.
No, it's not.
Okay, so let's. I don't know. I lost what you're
Get back on the rails. Come on, let's go.
Somebody else take this. I don't want to run this whole show.
Well, so
I mean,
what I was saying at the beginning, a few minutes ago, before the bridge scene, we think that Strange contained it. You know, he contained the spell.
Right.
Obviously, that's not what happened. We see it, a few moments later.
But
it reminds me of Spider-Verse in the sense that we start seeing the villains pop up first, and we don't necessarily see all the Spider-Man pop up first, which is the same thing like in Spider-Verse. Like you had to find them, Gwen and Spider-Man, Noir, Penny, etc. throughout. They didn't just all show up at once.
Right.
So not until Ned got the sling ring and he's doing his thing. So that was interesting because then we could at least discover them in the right order, or not in the right order. That sounds weird. In a way.
I got it.
What the fuck?
Okay.
That was weird.
That was
weird.
Yeah.
Extremely weird.
I missed most of that, but then I just saw.
I saw it for a moment. Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry, everyone. We do not condone.
No.
Jake Merlin accidentally opened up the multiverse.
No, don't blame Jake Merlin for this.
Wow,
I'm
wow.
distracted.
Sorry. No, so the bridge scene was very exciting. That got a very loud when Alfred Molina showed up, but then all of a sudden you see the bomb come rolling in.
Yes.
And then everyone knew that Defoe was back.
Yes, F that guy.
Yes.
We're gonna put a single on Lauren.
Look at that.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi.
Hi.
Did you love the movie? Yes or no?
Lauren, what did you think?
Cheers. Cheers to your milk.
She can't hear you because I have headphones on, but I can give these to her. They want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Lauren. Hi, I'm Allison. It's nice to finally meet you. This is
nice
very exciting.
to meet you.
How are you?
Emoji.
Good.
It's fun.
Jake
What
says
did
hi
you-
as well.
Why did I
Apparently.
just wave on the screen like she could see me?
Hi, Jake.
Lauren, what did you think of No Way Home?
Yes.
I loved it. I cried many times.
Me too.
I'm an Andrew stan, and so
Yes.
that movie was really good for me. Was
Yes.
really good for me.
Yes, it was. That Andrew is bae in my eyes versus Jesse and his Stephen Strange.
I
love that we can
Spider-Man.
talk so much smack about Jesse
this-
right now and he
You're
can't hear us.
you're the host now. I gotta eat this donut.
How is it?
It's really good.
I brought him home a mango mochi donut.
Ooh, that sounds
Mhm.
delicious.
Never tried it before. It's new at the mall. And at the same
Nice.
place, they have corn dogs, but they're fancy. So the one I
Oh.
got is a corn dog, and then they cover it in pieces of potato and fry it. And then they give you a sauce. So I got garlic parmesan sauce.
I
Oh,
don't even know what that is, but it all sounds good.
I
It's
want
sounds
really good.
delicious.
That's really good.
This is literally so much fun. I just want like Sean and everyone just to like keep shit talking Jesse while Lauren can hear it and laugh and act like nothing is going on. This is like my favorite moment right now.
Just see mouths move.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, Jesse, do you agree? Yes or no?
Yes,
or-
yes,
yes or no?
yes.
Jesse,
No.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, he agreed. Yeah. So he's going to be sending everything to us. He's going to leave the channel forever.
He's gonna
Yep.
leave the channel forever and give it over to Sean Wingblade.
Well,
Yeah.
From here on
for
out.
no, that's too much work. Jesse does all the work. He does all the real work. Andrew Garfield's having a great year, or at least a great month, with
Yeah.
Tic Tic
Yeah.
Boom
True.
coming out recently
True.
too, which
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
in my opinion, one of the best movies, at least the best movie that I've seen this year. I've seen
I
all
agree.
superhero movies and Tic Tic Boom and West Side Story, and musicals are fantastic.
Amen.
So he's
Um,
killing it. And
Lauren, did
Toby
you-
hasn't had a movie since 2014. Since
There's
like,
a
and,
Spawn
reason
and
for
and
Saga.
I'm
that.
okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
We're
reason
good
for all of that.
I thought he
Did
was
you
good, though. He's
also
good in this
did you also saw when he when Andrew Garfield catches MJ and has like the look on his face where he's like, "Are you okay?" Because like he caught her and he saved her because he couldn't
Mhm.
save Gwen. Oh,
There have
I
already
sobbed
been
so hard.
so many TikTok edits made of that scene with like really emotional songs. I sent
Mhm.
one to Jesse earlier today. I just cry every time. I'm like,
Oh.
look at our boy.
look at our boy!
Look at our
what he did!
It's all
Oh
grown up,
my
making
gosh! I
amends.
bawled my. What's really funny in our group chat because everyone knows that I cry at everything.
Me too.
Buck had met. Oh,
Oh,
my goodness!
Darren
Could
says
you
that
imagine?
moment made me cry my eyes out. I read it as that omelet.
Yeah.
But when we all got out of the movie at the same time, Buck said, he made a comment about his eyes tearing up. He goes, if I teared up, Allison bawled her eyes out at least 3 to 4 times. And I'm like, you are not wrong, sir. This 100% happens.
I was just sitting there
Jesse-
with tears coming down and landing in my mustache underneath my mask, and I was just like drinking my tears as they dripped.
Well, Jesse's
Don't
also
wipe
told
them
me
away.
that like because I cry so much in movies, it affects how much he cries. It's like seeing you emotional makes me more emotional, and
Mhm.
like
Not my
I'm
husband.
So, I'm
He's
so
like,
sorry.
my husband's like, stop crying. It's a movie. Like, get over. Like, it's okay. Like, you're fine.
No,
Like,
it's
I
not
sobbed.
fine.
It's not fine. I was not fine. And then Tom Holland and the whole Aunt May scene
Mhm.
Yeah.
that crushed me and my soul.
That-
Yeah.
So
that
I
was-
didn't tear up when she died. I teared up from Tom's before,
Me
like
too,
Tom's
Hobbit and-
Yes.
Yes.
performance
That's
in there. I'm
exactly
like, oh my gosh, this is
That's exactly what I said. And like the one particular line where he says, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I was
Yeah.
like,
I need you to wake up. He's like, I need you to wake up. And I'm like,
out of pocket, out of pocket.
Oh,
It
I
was
was a
all-
mess.
Just
I
say you
was a
cried, William.
mess.
Just say it.
It's
Say
okay,
I
William
bawled my
Harold.
eyes
We
out.
all cry. It's what we do. We are all emotional people, and it is fine.
Yes.
I do need to wrap some presents for this one while you guys
Oh.
keep him occupied.
All right.
Sounds good, Lauren.
It was
so
very nice to
meet
talk to you guys.
I
Yeah, that
don't
was
feel
great.
creepy. I don't feel creepy now having like sent you a friend request and like follows and Instagram requests. Now that
Anybody
we've
like
chatted.
anybody like in this sphere, whenever they send me a friend request, I'm like, yeah, if Jesse likes them, that's good enough for me.
I did ask Jesse if you thought it would be creepy. I was like, if I did this, would it be? And he was like, no. Okay.
Not at all.
With it.
Hi, Jake.
Bye.
Bye, Lauren.
Bye, Lauren.
Bye, guys. Nice to meet you.
You too.
I love your elf sweater. I just noticed it was elf.
Aww.
Tell her we love her elf sweater.
They love your elf sweater.
With my raccoon.
With your raccoons,
Yes.
yeah.
You can tell them how much I love
Okay. She wants me to share with you guys how much she loves raccoons, and I can sum that up by saying when we went to see Encanto, and the first shot of the short was two raccoons peeking over a log, she started crying. Nothing had happened yet. Just crying.
I love her so much. I just can. Lauren and I are just gonna. We just need to make our own show on this channel so we can hang out.
What the fuck?
Just
What
saying.
was that? What was that?
I'm doing stuff.
All right.
She's all, don't worry about it.
My
My
spider
business.
sense is tingling.
your Peter tingle. Your Jesse tingle.
It's
I have the
Goblin and
tingle,
Rocket
just not
Raccoon.
for bread.
I love how MJ calls Andrew's thing Peter Tingle too, and he
Mhm.
knows what she's referencing.
You-
He's like, not against
your
bread.
Your tingle.
I love the little half-ass, like 1 foot.
Yeah, like he's
something.
just like he has like just like a couple fingers. And then
She's
he
like,
just-
do more. She's like, that's not enough. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean?
My Lola wants you to go to the corner and just like to see. Can you wipe down some of those cobwebs?
Since you're up there.
I can't tell you how bad. Like, when I saw Toby, I was like, "Cool, Toby's back." That's
He
cool.
was so probably my only real complaint is just Tobey Maguire in general. He's just
Why
so
does everyone hate Toby? I don't
He's just
get it.
so dry. It's
I
just
guess
like
because I grew up with the Toby movies. I don't.
I mean,
see
so
it
did
as a
I.
big
That doesn't mean I liked them or that I liked.
Yeah,
them
but
as
didn't you watch
Spider-Man.
them for the first time like a couple weeks ago?
No, I watched. I watched 2 and 3 for the first time a few months ago. I had seen 2 before, but I didn't really pay attention because I was in like high school on like a date, and so I was like, whatever. I didn't really want to see it at the time. I was trying to be cool.
Spider-Man, whatever.
But anyway, lost my train of thought. So, and I never saw Spider-Man 3, which I mean, really glad that was the one and only time I've seen this movie. But he's not. He's just not. I just don't like. He's Seabiscuit. He's Seabiscuit Spidey is what is what I call.
Well,
his
speaking
movie.
of the relevance of Seabiscuit, is there's a multi-layered joke in here. So originally in Spider-Man 2, when he like falls on the car, he's like, my back, as a reference to the really bad back injury that he got while doing Seabiscuit. And so the fact that they brought that back, where he's like leaning over the poles, he's like,
Yeah.
you know, my back.
Yeah.
It worked for me.
So
By the way,
he's dry. I just don't think he. Brings
I love that
Do
scene.
you
where,
mean
like,
this?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Oh, it's good. Oh, look at
Oh,
Jake
yeah.
here.
I
He's
just
my-
love that scene with all three of them just talking
awesome.
about being Spider-Man. Like that scene to me is one of my favorite.
That
ones in
was
the entire
so
movie.
funny when they were talking. When he was like, "So, what's the I like this one. Tobey Maguire, Pleasantville Spidey.
Mhm.
Absolutely. No, when he was talking about like, so what's the coolest villain that you guys have ever,
I faced a
fought?
black goo alien.
Yeah.
I faced a purple. I faced a man in a rhinoceros outfit.
Yeah. And he's like,
Well, I
I'm
love. He's like,
lame.
you got to get rid of that self-talk, man. You are amazing.
That was
You
a
are
stretch.
amazing. You are amazing.
And he's like, "I love you guys."
I love that I started this.
from the chat.
So that was
No.
one of my so minor gripe of mine is that I just wish, because Toby's been Spider-Man now for 15 years and Andrew's been if the timelines match up. Oh, no, actually, it's 2023, so it's even longer. And if the timelines, Andrew Garfield's been like 8 or 9. So I wish they would have just mentioned a villain we hadn't seen.
Yeah,
You know, like even a small one like Hydra Man or something like that. The Chameleon or something like that. Or like, oh, I dealt with a Mysterio in my world. You know, something where they had. Sorry, there's flying around.
Where the hell? I get that he might show up, or he's supposed to show up probably in Multiverse of Madness, but I wanted Bruce Campbell.
Oh, there was no Bruce Campbell. Yeah,
there was no Bruce Campbell.
I feel like
that
that will be in Doctor Strange because of who also is directing that movie.
I'm sure
Sam Raimi.
He belonged in this.
Yeah,
that would have been.
He could have shown up at the very end, like he's the one.
If we say Bruce
villain
Campbell
that
3
made
times,
it through, PJ Wolbeer.
Yeah.
If he's
Bruce
the
Campbell,
one villain
Bruce Campbell
that came through at the very end before he Strange recast.
Did you guys know that PJ
and it was him as Mysterio?
It's actually Bruce. It's PJ Bruce Campbell.
Is that what it is?
PB Campbell.
Yeah.
Patrick Joseph Bruce Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's what it is.
It's a hyphen.
I heard you guys talking a little bit secondhand about William Harold's trying to make it happen about Aunt May's death. And here's the thing: even after seeing it twice, it wasn't hitting me.
Yeah, it only hits me because of Tom. It only hits me.
Tom, phenomenal. Also, Marissa Tomei, the way she carried through that scene, extremely well acted.
Mm-hmm.
I got no qualms with like how it was filmed or done, but it's like there wasn't enough done to earn the scene. The scene was as good as it could be. The scene was as good as it could be, but we didn't. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it actually made me realize that whole
holy
great power
shit
comes great responsibility line hasn't come through yet.
I said Bruce Campbell 3 times, and we got his nephew.
Said it 3 times.
Wait.
Actually, it's been said like 6 times. What are you talking about?
Actually, my spider sense is tingling, and I feel somebody poking through the multiverse.
Well, that was a good trick.
PJ,
hi, friends.
Where's your robe?
PJ.
I've barely been home, like, at all.
Hi, PJ. I'm sorry I bullied you to come in, but I missed your face.
All of you on screen.
Hobbit, you are so 100% correct.
What
Aunt May's death and Spider-Man PS4. That one.
Okay.
That one.
Hang on. Honey.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did I just spoil it?
No, he's
okay. No, when I got out of there, I was like, and we were talking about the scene. I was like, all right, listen, it was well done, but I cried like a baby when I played it on the PlayStation, and she died. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I think Spider-Man PlayStation is the best Spider-Man movie of all time so far. So,
well, it's also because you spend 40 hours with the character before you get to that point.
Yeah, I mean, in the
way she has to die is soul crushing.
She basically died from COVID.
Yeah, but like,
if you really think about it,
do I cure my Aunt May of COVID, or do I cure the city of COVID? And he had to choose the city over his aunt. And yikes!
I don't know. I really appreciated that we got to spend 3 movies with her at least, and then we Uncle Bent her. Like, that is such an improvement on doing it within 30 minutes of every one of these movies before.
Yeah.
And we waited 3 movies to hear the great power comes great responsibility, because I don't think it would have made sense coming from anybody else.
So great though to hear it after something bad happens. Not before.
I think people got so caught up in being mad that we never saw the spider bite and we never saw Uncle Ben's death, when they were totally missing the point that they were clearly doing a trilogy that I've been calling it the Great Power Trilogy for so long, because the whole thing was a trilogy to teach Spider-Man to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's all it was. This was 3 movies to tell this whole arc and make him become Spider-Man. It's almost like the people in your life influence you, and I'm really glad that they made fun of everyone being so mad about the Iron Man Jr. shit. Tired.
Yes, PJ. Yes.
Thank you. Go
That's
off,
why.
young one.
That's why we love it when you're here, PJ. With
I just
fire.
like people have all these stupid fucking hot takes because they love the Raimi films, and I get it. Like I grew up with them too, but Raimi's version of Spider-Man is not the only cinematic version. He's just not.
Yeah.
Okay. So, not to go. I'm going to avoid a side tangent. But I think Batman and Spider-Man are both characters that have not been done 100% in any one of their films. Like I've always still been waiting to come out of one of those movies going, "That's it. That's the character." And I feel like it took all three of them coming together in this movie for me to feel like this was a Spider-Man movie. This felt like Spider-Man more than anything we've had from Toby, Andrew, or Tom thus far. That being said, I love Andrew Garfield. I think Andrew Garfield was.
I would love to
like
get a Amazing Spider-Man 3.
I would too. Like I'm
not
good
done with the character.
What's that?
He's not done with the character.
No.
Yeah, you think he's coming back? He should. He should.
I'm not saying whether I know.
PJ has news. PJ
What
has
do you know, sir?
PJ has tea. He has hot, steaming tea.
Nope. Moving
All
on.
right, for $50 Streamlabs, PJ is gonna drop some news right now.
And he's out.
Man, this has been a day of that though, because I was I can't say who I was messaging, but somebody in the community messaged me and was like, "Oh, I'm working on Sonic 2, so I really appreciated your post of that I made where I said Sonic 2 looks better than The Flash." I was like, "Oh, what are you doing on it?" And that person said that they have an NDA and so they can't talk about it.
Oh,
I think I know who that was.
Well, nobody else can know.
No, yep, I'm not saying anything.
I like
Just
AJ's
say-
comment though
they
about
can
the
fight
whole Aunt May's great power comes great responsibility line, which is
The
they
Avengers
very
they
much
really
like
did.
this.
Yes, they 100% made
They
us wait for
truly
it.
did. They truly did, but it was the payoff was I think it was a fantastic payoff with it.
I have a hot take coming here. Don't hate me, people. Really, don't cancel me for this. I don't want Miles with Tom's Spider-Man.
I think that
It doesn't make sense to me.
I think that's
He's still too
accurate.
young.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
Hobbit's
Yeah.
comment makes sense to me. I think Andrew.
Well,
will
I
be-
think yes, or I think Tom needs to get to be Spider-Man now. I think we're finally at the point where he gets to be Spider-Man. So let him be Spider-Man for at least
Oh,
another
when he
2
has
years.
that sweet, and when it goes right back to just that sweet original, just bright blue and red suit that he made.
I
and
just
he
wish we
swing-
got a
oh,
better shot of it that
perfect.
it wasn't at night. That's my only complaint.
See,
about
I actually really loved it at night because it really I don't know, there was something about the
Reflected.
colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like real reflective. It looked very fucking cool. And I was just like looking for Hawkeye to be somewhere out in the crowd, like
That's
seeing
what I was
Spider-Man swinging
too.
by, because it's right at the same time.
Yeah. Did you guys see the signs too in the beginning for Rogers the musical?
Oh,
when
yeah.
I
they
did.
were
I noticed it
speaking
more
through?
the second time.
I did too.
Well,
I did
and
too. I didn't, but
Yeah, and then of course, like if you've been watching Hawkeye, they definitely referenced that they wanted she wants to go to the new Statue of Liberty.
yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
That I did mention or notice. Yeah,
I'm sorry. That entire scene from Hawkeye, the mac and cheese scene, is one of my favorite scenes
Mhm.
ever.
Yeah, period.
She
Oh, it's so
fucking
good.
killed it.
That's a good
So-
point.
Points to you.
So good.
Yeah.
PJ, bite your NDA lip if you're not allowed to speak on this. But I think that would be a great idea if Coy mentioned that. That Miles could be mentored by Garfield. It could be a good way for him to go out on a high note. Because I don't know much about the comics, but it's the
What's
the
funny
ultimate
is,
version.
The Ultimate version, he's youngish still. I mean,
but he dies.
College
And
age.
when
But he
Miles
does-
goes-
no,
yeah.
he dies. I'm just trying to remember where in Peter's timeline that is. Yeah, he's
Right.
like college age, but he dies, and that's what pushes Miles into it. But like then we did Spider-Man, where he like hung out with Peter, which was the crossover, which they could still theoretically do with someone like Andrew or Toby if they wanted to.
Yeah.
What I thought was interesting is going into this movie, I was like, if they're going to have all 3 Spider-Man, then obviously Tobey Maguire is going to be the Peter B. Parker of it all. I got more of that from Andrew.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Andrew's
I
already always been a Joker.
Yeah. Well, he's got the humor down, and he's older than he was in Amazing Spider-Man, and they didn't try to de-age him or anything. They let him look a little older. But, I mean, Garfield doesn't age. He drinks
Right.
like the blood of the innocent. He's just like Keanu Reeves and some
So
Well,
when
I
they
was-
were on the
he-
rooftop there at the school, what he said about how he got rageful.
Mhm.
I wanna see that.
I actually
Like-
was going to bring that up. Does anyone think that Morbius is definitely in Andrew's world? Because think about
After
it.
seeing this, yes.
Think
That's
about
what I
it.
was-
Oscorp doesn't exist in the MCU, which we learned.
Yes.
Mhm.
Everything we've seen feels very amazing-esque in those world, both Venom and this. And on top of it, the signs of Peter being a murderer, that could just as easily be Garfield's. He's talking about he's been pulling punches and like not pulling punches anymore and
Yeah.
being rageful and angry. He could have been murdering people.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
And Eddie specifically mentions he left New York, or he was pushed
But-
out of New York. He was forced to leave, and
But
so it
it-
could have been a story we didn't see with Andrew Garfield at the Bugle, and they had some, maybe he didn't know Spider-Man yet, maybe, but they, especially
Adrian
because the
Toomes.
post credit. Well,
Yeah,
they
but
could just,
variants.
yeah, variants exactly.
Interesting.
Luckily, we
Oh,
don't have to wait
possibility.
long for this. By the way, we don't have to wait.
I
It's
don't
like a
think
month.
Morbius is going to make it any easier, to be honest with you guys. Like, the Venom shit was already complicated enough because really the Venom of it all doesn't really make sense if you really think about it.
I
Am I
love
the
how they're
only
like,
people-
here he is in this mid-credit scene, and now he's bye-bye.
Well, not just that. Everyone that came through was supposed to be people who knew who Peter Parker was, right?
The hive mind. That's
Yeah.
the only logic
Oh,
I have.
Allison's letting herself in now, is she?
The
I had to go get a
hive
snack.
mind.
I've been here. I just went to go get a water and some snacks.
So
We're
I
talking for a
think
while.
the hive mind knows it from Spider-Man
Mhm.
3. That's the only logic I have for that.
Yeah, maybe the symbiote is different though. Like,
My money and I need it now! It's my money and I need it now!
Just want to give a shout out to Jake Yacovetta, who tipped
Hey.
in $5. Thanks for that Andrew Garfield cock tease there. Patrick. Oh, Patrick. Yeah. I was like, who's Patrick?
thanks.
I was like, was there a Patrick?
Yeah, Jake just brought it up too. Like the thing about Venom, that
Yeah.
they don't know it, and so I think that honestly, that was also Feige being like, just make Sony happy, put him in, take him
Yeah.
out. Like that.
I
Was
think that was more of Electro, not Venom.
Well, we
Both.
talked about this a little bit, and I was
No,
like, I
love Electro
think
in this, though.
it was just
But
a
how-
botched
and-
spell, and we
But
have to
when
kind
did
of ignore
Electro
the
ever
parameters.
know?
He didn't. No, he didn't. He just.
No.
I think
Right.
the parameters of the spell were busted. And I
Yeah.
think that's just kind of how you got to look at it.
I mean,
it's
I
kind of a vague
really
spell.
don't care. I don't. I mean, it's comic book logic.
Yeah,
all they need-
like I said, it's a minor detail. It does not ruin the entire movie.
Let's go dissect in-game time
Yes.
travel some more.
Let's
No.
do it.
Like I said, I literally couldn't care less. Other than I just want Venom really as far away from all this as possible because I'm like,
Thank
not
you.
a big
I
fan.
was gonna ask, am I the only person that when he disappeared, I just went like this in the theater? I was like, get out of my MCU.
So I think I can say this now. I've known about it for a while. I knew that was what the scene was, and I was like, anytime I thought about it, I was like, we're gonna see the biggest troll that Feige could have pulled.
He
on
fucking did.
literally
It's
anyone.
hilarious.
He
It's really
fucking
funny.
did. He's like, here it is. It is almost as good as Ralph Boner.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what I love
That
is
was a
he's
pretty
like,
good troll job too.
It's like, okay, we're getting a ways into the Tom Holland Spider conversation or movies now. So we need to do a symbiote story at some point. Ooh, but they're doing this Venom thing over here. So he's just like, hey, come over, visit for a second. Yoink, bye, get out of here.
But it's also like
No, we
we
haven't seen
don't necessarily even need that yet because, like, can we be real? We know that they want to do Secret Wars. So, like, do we need to have Venom show up just to leave the symbiote behind? Like, did we?
I wonder if it's just a backup plan.
Maybe.
I wonder if we're getting
because I
as we-
know I've heard they're in discussion with Joe and Anthony for Secret Wars.
Yeah.
We'll see.
give them like a 5-year break or more, and then have them come back. I think
Because it's
that's
going to
it.
take them 5 years probably to develop the whole idea.
Well,
for
we're getting
Wars.
Secret Invasion. That's probably going to maybe set
It's
up.
got to
some-
be a tee up. It'll be a tee up. And I mean, like, Multiverse of Madness is going to also be a tee up in its own way because now Multiverse will continue to break down the walls of who is in play and who's not. Who can we use?
And who is that? Who is that Doctor Strange at the end? Is that the one from What If or just?
Oh, it's 100% the one from What If.
Jesse disagrees. Jesse thinks
That's
it's just
100%. Are you fucking kidding me? That is 100%
I think.
What If.
I think it is adjacent. I don't
that
think
is-
it is the.
that is 100% the What If Dr.
No,
Strange.
it is 70% possibly that.
Jesse,
But
I
You are
bet you,
out of your fucking mind.
Jesse, I bet you $20 it's the one from What If. I'll give you $20 if it's not.
let's write it down somewhere.
Everyone watching, watching, $20.
No one mentioned it.
If it is the What If Doctor Strange.
Hello, Vengeance in the chat. What's up? And
No,
thank you for following us on Twitch. We don't have we're trying to grow on Twitch, so every time we see somebody come through on there, that is
yes.
So what happens when fucking
PJ said, "Shut up! I'm trying to correct you."
What happens when like fucking Captain Carter shows up in Multiverse Madness or something? Are you gonna
I'd
be
be
like
down for it?
Same one? But dude, What If is clearly fucking canon.
Yes.
Clearly. Benedict came back to voice the character in it.
Yeah, but
not all the actors did.
Scarlett
but
Johansson.
that's my point.
Yeah.
Like the ones that they're using still, other than Tom because of his contract stuff, all came back in some capacity for the most part. Like they got Kurt Russell to come back for nothing.
Yeah, well, at the
What
time,
about Chris Pratt?
ScarJo.
I said most. I said most.
I'm.
But my point is that's very clearly What If. Like that character played through all of What If.
As long as it's a nice question.
Yeah, we're
more than welcome.
We have the band hammer ready to go here because we had freaking.
What question do you
Nazi
have for
zombies.
me? What question? I want to see. I want to know. Let's find out. Waiting.
Hobbit brings up isn't the one in What If trapped
It's just me interrupting PJ.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking asshole. Yeah, but
Welcome back to the show.
If it's like literally anything else, we can pull people at a time depending on where things are.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. They could do.
Well, here's the thing: is like by the end
Spider-Man or my friends on the screen is what I want to know, which is highly inappropriate with two of them being married.
At the time, yeah, the dark, aka most powerful Doctor Strange, is trapped with Ultron in a time loop. If I'm remembering the episode correctly, I only saw
No. I believe it's
In, like, a mirror
Ultron
dimension.
and Killmonger. I thought it was Ultron and Killmonger were stuck in the loop.
I don't remember. I thought he's there to monitor it though. Didn't he take on essentially the role of Watcher to watch this one specific universe to keep it from escaping?
So returning back to Spider-Man No Way Home spoiler talk, PJ, what were some of the highlights of the movie for you?
Basically every single time that the three Peters had any sort of conversation, just because I really liked getting to see each one of them being the versions of them that we knew, but in a much more, I don't want to be a dick about it, but like in a way that made them feel like real characters, and it was really great. Yeah. I think that Feige has a much clearer vision of where these characters can be and grow. Like Toby's in this movie for half an hour and maybe like altogether, like it's about the last hour of the movie, but he's only has so much screen time. But that's the most I've ever liked him as Peter.
That's what Lauren and I were both saying, because we are both not Sam Raimi trilogy nuts. I think like obviously when it came out, it's what there was, and I think we were attached to it. But like as you get older, I think we kind of like grew away from it. I know like some people the nostalgia only grew. For us, it dissipated. And I've been excited to see every new incarnation of Spider-Man. And I think Andrew, as a character or as Peter Parker, was my favorite for a really long time. So everything with Andrew really did the absolute most for both of us.
Totally. And I was talking about it with Tim Franco because I was hanging out with him after, and I think I've seen it 4 times now. Like legitimately, I've already seen the movie 4 times. So I've just
you hate it. So you
I fucking hate it. Clearly.
Why do you hate this movie, PJ?
Why do you hate this movie, PJ?
But one of the things.
Why won't you give them your money?
That clear vision that I'm talking about that Feige has during the last battle on the Statue of Liberty, they really took the time that every Peter got to have some similar moments to the things you knew from their series, letting Andrew be the one who like does the slingshot and shooting himself back up the building or the side of the Statue of Liberty, like however you wanted to say it. Like they were doing stuff like that let these characters be that version, and they're all kind of learning from each other. And the thing that was really great is that the 2 Peters who show up are totally different than Tom, and it takes the three of them to figure out, oh shit, we can all be better versions of ourselves. Like they're not just there to inform Tom's Peter, they're all there to inform each other.
Thanks.
I love how both Andrew and Tom were able to basically redeem their two most regrettable moments. Andrew was when he saved MJ, and Toby was when he stopped Tom from killing Green Goblin with the glider.
Yep.
Yes. Again, it's the clear vision of, we forget Feige was like very involved with all those early Spider-Man films.
Yes, his name's on as producer or executive producer.
Right. And so much, he was so deeply involved with Amazing the first time around that Andrew was originally supposed to be the Peter in the MCU. Like the conversations had gone far enough along that they were trying to put the Avengers Tower in the New York skyline, and it fell apart at the last minute because of fucking contract stuff. And so they were too far along and they couldn't end up doing it. But there's a reason that the Amazing films feel adjacent to that universe. Like it feels like Stark Tech a lot of the time.
I don't want to brag, but I worked with the Avengers. You did? That's awesome. What's
that?
Avengers?
What is that?
Yes.
I love when Toby lost it.
No
when they
one
just keep
knows.
talking. How is this helping?
That's
you own a band?
So
was a band? It was perfect. It was perfect to know that like there's no Avengers in those other universe, or like I think that's good. Like that, I think that's awesome.
That whole thing, I like that all these universes are different. That's really, really important. Like terribly,
artists,
really important.
This is a hate crime, and we will not have any more of that. Thank you so much.
I remember seeing that at the
That
downtown
means- oh my God.
Century Theater, K Street Mall.
That means
PJ knows.
I was 15 when that movie came out. Holy shit.
What?
I mean, I was fucking 12, so
yeah,
Holy
I was 14.
Shit, I'm so old.
Oh no.
Is that a band?
Oh no.
And I gotta
Artists.
say, dude, how fun is it that all these villains and stuff got to come back? Lizard being the most expendable and unnecessary.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I
didn't know he could talk.
The thing I thought was really interesting
dinosaur
for me was you don't really realize, and I've always said it, I've never liked that Raimi killed the villains, because
Yes,
every
I hate
time you did that, it set up less potential to see them interact. Seeing Melina and Defoe interact as Octavius and Goblin was
And
something
even-
that I waited 20 fucking years to see.
When Marco being aware of both of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
And so
also protecting Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because they left on a good note. So you can tell that he was pulled from after the entire last battle. Whereas we don't really know when everyone else was pulled. We're assuming Doc Ock from the moment he was about to sink the tritium.
Yeah.
Makes me feel much better, William Harold. Thank you. And then we got Jake over here. Jake, I feel like even if you weren't older than all of us, you would still be doing this on a regular basis.
It's all right. Narnia was one, so there's that.
We are a good group of nerds here, and so I want to take a moment to discuss something, because this was personally for me one of the loudest pops, even though I think it went over a lot of the audience's head. They weren't really paying attention. I flipped the hell out right here. I said,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, it's beautiful.
Oh, same. No,
Gorgeous.
it was perfect.
I am so not a fan of everything that's come from the Holland suits. Any of it.
He has so many suits, by the way.
Because
many
again, Stark
Well,
was
he
making
did.
everything because he was learning. Like he was in a place where he didn't have to learn to be Spider-Man. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you, all the leakers on YouTube and TikTok that allowed Jesse to pull that clip.
Yeah, right.
There's so much of this movie is on the internet already.
Apparently, the entire movie was on YouTube like a day ago.
Oh
No way.
But I don't
Snow.
think it's
gorgeous.
not great. It's not great.
Well, of
quality.
course it's not,
Yes.
but I mean, it's out there because everyone's. I mean, dude, someone took pictures of the fucking screen at one of the screenings I was at. I think it was the one either yesterday or today, and I was like, "Fucking really!" Like, I love you guys being excited, but
Can I just have my message out there and say, like, it's not worth it? Like, just please
No.
stop. I understand if there's like rumors or leaks or something that get out, I guess. But like when you're just gonna snap photos before the rest of the world gets to see things and just
It's rude.
try to ruin it, stop.
Yeah.
Maybe he was doing a
Also,
spoiler review.
I want to. Can I say real quick? I want to live in the blissful ignorance that are my fucking parents. Like, I took them to see the movie today, and
It was
I was
covered in
having
green
dinner
goo.
with them after, and it was like my mom kept talking about how she was so excited and so surprised to see the other Spider-Man. And she's like, "It's so great that never leaked out, and that like no one knew about that." And I was like,
Only
must
for
be
a
like-
year. Only for
"Yeah."
a
I
year.
was like, it would be nice to live in this world where you
And
had
they denied it hardcore for a
You
year.
can't even say they, because like Toby lives in a cave somewhere.
Yeah, and he makes a single movie every 6 years. This time he did 2 because he also did the Damien Chazelle thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like, I was like, it must be nice to live in the blissful ignorance of not knowing any of that, even though like we all knew enough that like Jesse and I fucking argued over it like 6 months ago.
Jesse,
I don't even remember how it
was
went.
this the
Not well
detail
because
you asked?
apologized and you were like, I think I
Oh.
made you mad.
Yeah, I think.
His mom is nodding.
Damn right. Damn right.
we
I got
we have
about Harlem. Well,
we have another spoiler image, but we put our own
It's true.
put our own watermark over the top of it just to make sure.
Oh, guys, don't forget, look at Andrew's dick to make sure that it's Photoshop.
Oh my god.
I
just-
luckily
Can I
avoided
look-
all of that when it happened.
So Frank was in his screening. He said that there were some like teenage girls sitting next to him. That every time Andrew Garfield was on screen, she went, "God, he's so fucking hot."
I just think the light
Not
is
wrong.
hitting. It's hitting his
He's
left
not.
testicle
She was
a little
not.
weird.
Bador. Hello,
Howdy,
Bador.
Hello.
Hello. Good to see you again. Oh God, AJ. AJ's coming in hot. This is the-
No, remember, this is all Campia. This is all Campia is doing. We're only talking about Spidey junk because Campia put it out there.
God damn it, Campia.
I luckily avoided that. The only thing I knew spoiler wise was one thing that I asked. Jesse and I discussed this a couple days ahead of time when the screenings had come out. And I was like, all right, cool. I can go in fresh minded. And that was, we had just asked, is Toby and Andrew in the movie? Yes or no? Because otherwise it would have been distracting if we're sitting there the whole time knowing that they're going to be in it, but then they never show up and it would have been just distracting.
I
So-
didn't ask for any details. I was just like, just give me the
Yes or
you
no.
know, like,
This was the
that's-
one thing I got spoiled on Tuesday night. I'm on YouTube. I just watched like Spider-Man trailer breakdown. Pops up. It's I think like a Mexican video. They literally put in Toby, Andrew, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
Right.
Well,
I'm
the problem
so
was,
glad I
that-
stayed off of everything.
dude, the problem is that like as we were getting closer to release, there was all these people all over Twitter and all over Reddit who wanted to be like new super sleuths, so they were just making shit up all the time, and so things were just like snowballing because they were clearly pulling stuff from like Reddit leaks, and then they would try to modify it to say other things. So people were seeing real information while also seeing fake information, which was muddying the waters even more. And it was like, just go watch the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like
A lot of
simply
people
put.
have. A lot of people have this weekend.
Yes, and as it turns out, it's doing very fucking well. I ate heavy crow because I did not think it was going to top 150.
My prediction was 175, and I'm getting blown out of the water.
I said 215, and I was like, I'm just making this to be outrageous.
Yeah.
And then Sean and I decided to go. He said 242, so I said two. I
was laughing
him
at-
and said
I was laughing at-
241.
I was laughing at Matt Thomas though because he's like, "Oh, dude, it's gonna catch the in game." I said, "No, it's not."
No,
I mean,
I don't think it would have caught it even if we weren't in.
That's
it.
what I said.
I
was
think
like,
it
right
could
there.
long term potentially if it
well, that's
got
not.
legs.
We were talking opening weekend. I'm sorry.
Oh,
He said it's gonna catch, and I was like, "It's not hitting 350, my guy."
not in the not now.
No.
No, not in these times with everything going
honestly,
on, for sure.
Without Toby and Andrew in that marketing, that plays a part. If you had put Toby and Andrew in the marketing, we'd
Yeah.
have a different conversation.
But here's the thing. I
Yes.
think they're playing the long game because like
Of
they
course.
didn't need to. Oh, I'm dropping stuff. Look at me, I'm Allison.
You're saying, guys.
They're 100% playing the long game, and there's nothing wrong with that.
because like now it's out, free marketing, right?
Right.
And now it's gonna have legs, and it's gonna have a second big ass weekend.
That's why I feel like Sony's not necessarily rushing to take down these clips online. They're like,
I 100% kind of think that a lot of it was intentional, to be honest with you guys.
Well,
and I'm not a conspiracy theorist like Peter's gym teacher, but
oh my god, can we talk about
That
Hamlet
was
Burris for a
so
second?
funny. Oh my
We know
god.
what you did.
We know what you
Stereo was
did.
right.
Mr.
he's a
I loved
conspiracy
it.
theorist.
So did you
I
guys
also liked when
catch-
they were.
on my second watch, when they come into the school, there's like a mural of like intelligent people behind them, and Dr. Erskine, Howard Stark, and like all these
Hank
other like
Pym.
Marvel characters are on the mural.
Yeah, Hank Pym. Because
Thank you.
Stark was on there. He's been on there since Homecoming. I know that because I always I saw it every single time he walked through the hallway. I always made a mental note that Stark was there. And we're talking about Howard, not Tony.
Right.
I like AJ's
I don't
question.
know if Erskine was there or not in the original. I have to go back. It's been a bit since I paid attention to it. But I liked that. I always love that it's like there's real scientists on there mixed in with the MCU scientists, and it's always so cool.
I liked AJ posed with the marketing. Would you have traded Toby and Andrew in it
I
for the villains?
I
Or-
love
Yeah.
seeing Toby and Andrew in the movie.
Me too.
I always
Because-
thought smart idea would have been don't have them in any of the marketing, but I thought that they might have like a couple weeks leading up to it.
I think
I'm really
Sony got
glad they
forced
did.
to show more of their hand than even they wanted to, and I know they kept
Yeah.
a lot close to the chest, but I think that because some of our older actors don't know how to play the Kevin Feige sniper game as well,
Mhm.
and say a bit
Are you
too
talking
much.
about the fact, number one, Melina just fucking spilling stuff, but also, does anyone remember when the day that Fox was announced?
Yes, and he's like, I'm not going to be blue in this one.
Well, not just that.
Yeah.
One of the pictures he put on Instagram was the three Spideys looking up in the air at Electro.
Yeah.
It's incredible, really.
Wild. It's wild. Oh yeah, the ticket stream party where that one guy was like, "I hear Aunt May dies in this." I wasn't paying that much attention because I was too busy being stressed out trying to buy my fucking tickets.
I don't remember that, to be honest.
I
don't
do
remember
now too. And I said, shut up.
Yep, and they got banned because that's how we roll.
Well, at the time though, I didn't consider it a spoiler because like that was fair prediction, And
Yeah,
But-
so I
and
didn't go into the movie waiting for it.
No, and I think a lot of people watching the trailer, it was kind of very obvious. I had made
I thought it was gonna be happy.
there was just too much of in the shots. Like it was clearly the same room where the pumpkin bomb is thrown the first time and Peter's trying to catch it. Like May is in the same place. It just looked very fucking obvious. And I said it to a couple of people where I was like, she's 100% going to die. And I didn't know that for a fact. The only stuff I knew for sure was the stuff with the two Spideys. So the deductive reasoning was knowing in the back of my head that this was always a trilogy that was about teaching Peter how to be Spider-Man. It would have to be May.
right.
It had to be.
Who do you want them to introduce in the next one that they're actually actively developing right now?
Felicia Hardy.
I think that's the safe bet.
I want Black Cat.
Especially now that we're getting so much Catwoman again in the Batman. These movies tend to inform each other. Like,
And also the
let's be fair.
separation of Zendaya's not going anywhere. Like, don't be fooled. But
No.
I think that it's going to be a different chapter, and
It's also going to, and it'll muddy the waters of their relationship,
right?
Because will Peter decide to do anything?
Also, I had this conversation with Lauren. I was like, if he gets the symbiote, Felicia's got a thing for the bad boys, and I think Black Suit Spider-Man is king of the bad boys. So, Felicia Hardy.
Yeah,
confirmed.
before this movie, I'm like, I don't know if Tom can do like the more aggressive, angry Spider-Man. We saw that we saw that here. I was like, oh, I'm very excited because I think we will eventually get the Black Suit Spider-Man.
I think Black Suit Spider-Man is 100% happening. Obviously, the mid-credit scene made that very fucking obvious.
I would love some Spider-Gwen Bador.
Can
And
we do
I
a
want it to be
multiverse?
Emma Stone. I want it to be Emma
Yeah.
Stone, though.
I was gonna say, can we do
be
some
amazing.
multiverse stuff and have Haley Steinfeld be Kate Bishop and Spider-Gwen?
Yes.
You know,
Yes, 100%. I'd love
you
it.
know what I really want? I want
Jake Johnson.
No, I just want Matt Murdock. I just want Daredevil. I just want this to be like a smaller, because for all intents and purposes, no matter how multiversal this movie was, it was very close-knit, emotional, small stories. Like the scale is very small. I want I want the next one to be a small scale movie dealing with Kingpin and Daredevil and like Peter having to learn how to be that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Like we really haven't seen that fully yet. This is the closest we've gotten to it being fully that. But I want a movie where he's fucking fighting alongside Daredevil against Kingpin. And this is, you know, you guys brought up Punisher earlier when I wasn't on here. That's how you introduce Punisher. You don't need an R-rated Punisher movie. Like most of the comics are not R-rated material unless you go into the Max
Bernthal
stuff.
has said though he wouldn't do it.
Let's see.
We'll back up a truck of money and ask how it's.
Let's just put a Brinks truck right up to his front door.
Bring back Dolph Lundgren.
If Bernthal says no, then Bernthal says no. Frank Grillo's right there.
Oh, Frank Grillo would do it in a heartbeat.
Frank Grillo has been my fucking fan cast forever, even though he's Crossbones. Hey man, one of the people in Guardians is one of the
Gemma
leads.
Chan.
Yeah,
Gemma Chan.
So I mean, anything's possible, but that's how you introduce it, because it's got to be something along the lines of Jay Jonah continues to do his like sweeping statements that they need to unmask Peter. So you're either doing Kraven's Last Hunt.
Can we do the better looking Frank Grillo and get Mano Bennett?
Ooh, I like Manu.
Sorry,
So do that. No, but like that's right. So you do that. So you either have Kraven or you have Punisher. One of those two characters has to show up in some capacity to try to.
Kraven's already casted.
Right.
But is that in the MCU though, or is that just Sony?
What is the MCU is the question.
Yeah. And Kraven is one of the first people you see in the cracks. Did you guys notice that?
Yes.
Second time I saw
that.
Kraven. The first time I only saw Rhino. But yeah, Rhino's
first time I didn't really notice it.
I don't know what Kraven looks like, so no, I didn't see it. But I saw the Rhino.
Let's
Second
find him
time
for you.
I saw it when those breaks were coming, I'm literally looking at the screen trying to see, all right, what can I see? What can I see?
I did see Rhino though.
No, it's so that's what we're looking at. Is it like a grounded Peter fighting for his life still, where these people are trying to unmask him now? Because arguably he's still going to be the world's most famous person, just not unmasked.
Right.
Yeah.
Kraven the Hunter is a big game hunter that thinks that Spider-Man is the ultimate catch, basically.
And if you put Jay Jonah out there with all this
Taylor
conspiracy
Johnson was
theory
cast.
shit, yeah, like
okay.
Who was already Quicksilver. So there's already, so if he's in the MCU, there's already a little bit of that, which they did with Gemma Chan already, and a few other minor actors.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, and then you got Mahershala if you count the Netflix stuff.
Well, the Netflix stuff isn't canon, so that's fine.
You're fine.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So
I'm glad. Here's what I'm glad. I'm glad that we're keeping certain actors from Netflix. Finn Jones, get the fuck out.
Oh wait, hang on. Hearing
Brendan calling
the
Wing.
sound of a sling ring.
Oh boy.
Oh my God, it's Drunk Colin.
It's Drunk Colin.
Hi. How are
Hi,
you?
Colin. Hi, I'm Allison. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, it's nice to see you and quit liking your tweets and see you in person.
I know, that's so nice.
Isn't
Hi.
Oh, it's like the best thing in the world when you're like, I
It's so
quit liking your
fun.
tweets and say hi to your face.
One of my greatest regrets in the recent weeks is not being able to go on Andrew and Toby Watch with Colin, because we had Kang Watch going for Loki, and that was a real good time.
King Watch. Listen, this house.
Oh my God. Speaking of Loki, just a little sidebar. So, because they film in Atlanta, my sister and her husband with two of their friends ran into Owen Wilson at the Ponce City Market, like rode in an elevator with them and everything. Just thought that was a fun side note.
I wonder if they're filming season 2.
They were. I mean, it was a few months ago when it happened. It was back like August, September when it happens. But yeah, I thought that was just a fun little tangent.
Let's
proceed.
Was his hair already cut short? Because he had his longer hair when they were doing the press rounds.
I don't know. I didn't go into details. They were just like, we met Owen Wilson. I was like, oh, that's nice. That was about it.
Colin, how many times have you seen it? Twice? Nice.
Twice.
Am I the only one here who's seen it 4 times?
No.
4?
Yeah.
Hardest, I believe
What?
Hardest is going to go the 4th time tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
I only saw it
times.
All right. How many times so when did you see it?
Twice opening night, once yesterday and once today.
Okay.
Nice. I've seen it twice. I saw it
So
opening
I
night and
almost
then I saw
walked
it again
back in the
Friday.
theater on Thursday.
That's so I had gotten my ticket for 3:00 and late to the party had bought us all IMAX tickets. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to go to the second show, depending on how I feel about the movie. And I wasn't like fully sold on doing it because I have the dogs. And I walked out of the movie and I saw them literally as I was walking out. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going back in. And so I
want to go again.
And I went to the 6:30 show with them. And it was wild seeing it with, like, the first audience was good, but we saw it in a sold out IMAX. And the crowd was just like,
Is there
so
any
into the movie.
Is there any difference between like the normal digital and IMAX, you feel?
I mean, I think sometimes there's a little more clarity, but like other than that, not really. It's so
you gotta
minimal.
be looking for it, right?
Yeah, you got to be looking for it.
You gotta be
Like
looking for it.
the sound is usually what it's about. Like I find the sound sounds better in IMAX and Dolby and Prime than any like normal digital screenings. But like,
well, it's the uncropped image, right, on the top and the bottom. Don't they give you a little extra on the IMAX screen?
Sometimes, but I don't even notice.
They crop
it
it down for the digital.
To be honest, I never notice it anymore.
Yeah,
like
my first one was IMAX, and we're gonna go see it again after Christmas with the kiddos.
Kevin Feige would
I'll
have
see it in
to
a regular
sneak some shit
XD
into
theater.
the bottom left corner of the extended frame to push
Okay,
those
wait,
numbers.
speaking
hold
of
on.
IMAX stuff, did you guys catch what was more clear to see in the IMAX version? And is when Peter gets busted out
That's
into his
what I was
astral
about to say.
projection.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
I
I'll
can't
let
remember
you
who
take-
mentioned it. It might have been Dan Merle or someone. He
Dan.
said
Yeah.
he saw it in IMAX and digital, and the other because of the expanded image, you could see the spider tingle.
I noticed
above
it
his
on the
head.
digital when I saw it today.
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't
I
see
saw
it
it
right
after listening to Dan. I noticed it on digital when I saw it a second time. It's very faint. It's like
So
a little
when
outline.
do we think Green Goblin came to the
I don't
forefront?
I don't know because
Was it when Otto said it will be great that you'll be whole again?
Yeah,
Like,
and, well, it was
because
it was
the
around
way that
time.
he says that line turns around. He says it in the Goblin voice.
Hello, Willem.
Hello, Willem.
Well,
Oh
I'm
my God,
glad you said
PJ,
that,
I
'cause
think it was.
He killed it in this movie. Oh my god!
I wanted to navigate
he-
it to talking about Goblin for a little bit because I want to
I
narrow in on something.
I loved. I think PJ was your tweet where you were like calling out all these reviewers that still couldn't pronounce Willem Dafoe's name.
No,
the
that
right
was
way.
that was Jesse.
That
Was that
great.
you? That was you,
Yeah.
Jesse. That
I
was you.
said so people are out here getting 20K views in like
That
a
was
matter
it.
of hours. And they're
Talking
still
about
saying-
William.
We're talking about William
Talking
Dafoe.
about William Dafoe.
And I'll tell you who now
Willem
because
Dafoe.
we're here. It's
Willem
Angry Joe Show.
Dafoe.
Angry Joe Show, the video game channel. That dude's
Uh-huh.
been doing movie reviews and like I'm garbage. Hot garbage. And
Everything
the amount of
that channel
misinformation-
I just want to take this moment to thank Kevin Feige personally for bringing Willem Dafoe back.
Yeah.
and
as
destroying the
Goblin.
mask in seconds.
Well, and not just that, but letting him just be fucking Goblin.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he was. I like the Sam Raimi movies, but like seeing a totally unhinged version of him and not having the mask and just letting Willem Dafoe be Willem Dafoe
It was perfection.
It was so good.
is so good.
It
Like,
was
is there anything
absolutely
Kevin Feige can't do? Like, I swear, he just keeps raising the
Yeah,
bar.
Inhumans.
That's not Feige.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I'm
like,
saying,
that
I'm
was
saying he
bro. That
can't
was
do
like
it now.
Perlmutter.
He can't do it.
Who
Because-
said? Wait, who says that though? He brought
I-
Daredevil
Rob-
and Kingpin back.
I know, but Ike robbed him from, and he's already done like he's doing in Eternal.
Ike also made the first 2 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean,
What's that?
season 1 of that show is fine.
Fine, but I thought it got better.
I liked season 4. Season 4 was the best. and
Season
that
4
was,
smacks.
Yes.
I never watched Agents of Shield.
Is that with
I'm
the life model
disassociating.
decoys?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Matrix.
that's
The
after
Matrix is cool.
Ghost Rider, and that's
Yeah.
the same
Ooh, Ghost Rider.
They need to
That's
bring
who
back
they.
Gabriel Luna.
That's who they need to
Yeah.
bring in.
I love that
there
dude.
there might be a Ghost Rider.
All right, we're
in an
ending the stream.
upcoming
PJ is going to
movie.
tell us all his secrets.
I'm gonna go get some alcohol. I'll be right back.
But
Yo, that movie was crazy, right? I haven't talked to anybody.
dude,
Tell us
we
your
were-
feelings. Start from the
That's
beginning.
Oh my
we're
God.
Let us
Okay,
know how you feel.
spoilers.
Yeah, I want to hear Colin's thoughts.
Okay, so I've had to think of it in terms of like one, just wow, like they pulled it off, and then you got to think about like how they were able to pull it off. Was immediately where my brain goes. I rolled the dice and I watched the first two Raimi movies with Spider-Man 2 ending within 25 minutes before I got in. Yes, before I got in the car to go to the theater. Totally, like, I wish I had time for 3 and can I curse?
Fuck yeah.
Okay. And fuck, I wish I had time for Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2 and just wish I had planned it out. Because wow, would it have paid off? Because I was just so
For me.
Yay. She's back.
I am with the crutches.
I didn't make a graphic for Returning Arrival, so
I see that
Colin.
the moment, like basically the moment I got here, PJ was like, my.
Yeah, he's by.
He went to go get.
He
went
needed
to go get some
alcohol to
booze.
deal with us all.
Oh, that's understandable. I need alcohol
Colin,
to deal with.
so
a lot
you
of
only got through the first two.
okay.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but so thankful that I did because what came from 3 was essentially what you got from Flint out of 3, which was let me get to my daughter.
Yeah, basically.
And so I just like
Jesse,
wasn't
why do you
upset.
keep playing
The second
that?
I didn't see James Franco in the movie, I was like, okay, I made a smart decision by not cramming 3 down my throat.
God, I hate James Franco so much.
By the time you're halfway
okay. But
through
the reference to Harry, I thought was so great. It's like, hey, did you have a best friend? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
he
killed
died
him,
after-
or he tried to kill me.
He
He died in my arms
Died in my arms.
after he tried
And
to
then
kill
just
me.
like,
That is that. Like that
I
is
love-
great. I had 2 different theater
Great.
experiences. I
Toby's
had
delivery
one
of him just
opening night,
going.
one
was
on
heartbreaking.
Friday, and I felt like the Friday theater, which was full of much younger kids, had a better reaction.
I
than
agree. That's
Ned's.
exactly what my experience
That's
was.
what I noticed on
Friday
Friday,
night was
too.
Yeah, I felt like the younger kids were more on like Ned and zombie like
Yes.
negative zone mode of like, oh shit, am I
Yeah.
this? Not totally not realizing one, he's not Harry Osborn, but
Right.
2, he could totally be the Hobgoblin at any time.
Well,
And
now
was
that
like-
especially
that
he
poll at
doesn't
the end.
know Peter.
Here's a question. What if they do a twist on the Hobgoblin, and instead of him being like just a sub in for Green Goblin, basically he has magical tendencies, and we get a magic goblin?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
okay.
1,
Also, hello, Star to me. No one else. No one gets lost with the hello. Hello.
I love the flying elf.
Yes.
oh my
Yeah.
god,
He says
He sounds
looked
jolly.
like he was like a green elf. Like it was perfect comedic timing. Like Tom Holland has like from I wish I had just the time in my life to have watched all 3, 5, 8 movies of live action before or seven before, and just to see Tom Holland's progression of comedic ability, and he's just on a different level from where he was running around the halls in Homecoming and dealing with Tony Stark. He has full command of the screen, and that's honestly one of the better progressions I can remember in the MCU from folks, because there hasn't been too many people who have had to go from full comedic to dramatic, which is what I felt this film did amazingly for him, which was give him a platform to act and not act off of someone. And
somehow he was still the lead.
Says, not only did I kick Doctor Strange's ass, like I beat him. I beat Doctor Strange. Like he's like in the moment, like, dude, you're ruling this movie. Like even when like my girlfriend, she's like, I spent half the time being mad at him. I'm like, yeah, but he was so good at it, right? Like he was.
Well, that's Peter Parker. Peter Parker is like the most human character
ever.
Marvel universe. I mean, comics or anything. That's like the point.
And I have to apologize to Toby because for years, and by years I mean since Homecoming came out, the moment when Peter is on the roof about to go into the party in the Spider-Man suit and sees the transformer on the power line blow up and is like, oh, I have to go figure that out. That to me was like the Peter making the Peter and Spider-Man moment where I have to do what's right instead of what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
In watching Spider-Man 2 recently, Peter makes the same decision. When he decides to help people instead of going to watch Mary Jane in the play,
right?
That's his moment. And that to me, I honestly hadn't watched Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 in 5-7 years. Like I just hadn't watched them. I just had like just no reason or just hadn't come across them. And seeing that moment, I was like, damn, they rocked it in Spider-Man 2. That's why it smacks.
Oh, that was such a precursor to the end of the movie when he makes that same sacrifice, and to the nth degree when he's like, cast the spell again, make no one remember me, so they're not hunting for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did see Craven. Did everybody see Craven?
Well, everyone that knew who Craven was.
No, Jessica loves constantly throwing.
Do you remember the rumor?
You make one sound during the start of the stream, and he just keeps throwing you under the bus and backing it up and throwing you back and rolling over you again.
See the trick that I'm playing here is that Allison's like, oh no, I did this, I'll never be invited on. And I said, here's the trick, I'm going to make you not want to come back on.
Do you guys remember the rumors like right after Far From Home? John Watts was like posting
a bunch of Craven stuff.
The bunch of Craven stuff.
That was Plan A.
That was definitely Plan A.
William,
totally Plan A.
PJ's already here.
Speaking of an Oscar, Spider-Verse gets Oscar for Best Animated Movie, and Marvel and Sony were like, wait. We may have something here.
Wait, whoa. For what?
What?
Sound editing?
No, it's Best Animated Picture.
No, I'm talking about. Are you talking about this film that we're talking about?
No. What I'm saying is, the concept of the Spider-Verse shifted. I think the focus on Craven.
Yeah, they were like, "Hold on."
Oh, okay.
I totally
changed
thought
their plans.
Yeah. The Spider-Verse boosted the Spider-Man Q score like exponentially.
They're like, "Oh, we should do this live action." It worked.
Imagine. And they just like sat in a room, and then they asked Tobey Maguire how much money, and then they called Andrew Garfield on a separate line and said how much money, and then they had the board of directors and the accountant on the line and said, can we afford this? And it was like Moneyball, where Jonah Hill and Brad Pitt are sitting across from each other, and then yes, we got a yes from Toby. Oh yes, we got a yes from Andrew. Yes, we got a yes from the accountants, and then yes, we got the fist clench, and yes, and then we got the hug, and everything was good. Oh man, oh that was so good.
Look at how much they mean it. Look at Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Because Toby said, "Thank God, because I haven't done anything meaningful live action since The Great Gatsby. God bless you. The last thing I did that got me any money was narrating The Boss Baby."
Really?
Narrate The Boss Baby?
Yeah, that was like
narrated
5.
The Boss
Yeah,
Baby?
yeah, he narrated The Boss Baby. You're welcome.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Yeah, from the guy that's been out of Schmodown for 5 years. You're welcome for the 5-pointer at some point in your life, folks.
Colin, I think it's 5 months.
5 months. Sorry, not 5 years. 5 months. 5 months.
Feels that way.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I mean, not that I've seen Boss Baby, but
I
that's
only
good to
learned
know.
that yesterday looking at his IMDb and was like, damn it, if somebody looks at this, they are spoiled.
Speaking of Boss Babies, you guys all see that Hawkeye finale TV spot titled The Boss?
No.
Not
No.
and will not.
That's what it's called?
No.
He's so
Also, would like to point out that if you thought Kang Watch was bad, holy shit.
Okay,
but
but
Kang Watch in this house has been on lock.
Wait,
My
what watch? What
girlfriend
are we
has
watching in your
been-
house?
Fisk Watch?
King Watch.
Oh, King Watch.
King-
King Watch.
I like
is-
You just
Fisk Watch.
changed it a letter because Kang Watch was in full effect through all of Loki.
I like Fat Man.
Did you have
Watch
Mephisto
instead.
watch during WandaVision too?
I didn't want to. I had a Mephisto watch during this movie, though. Had a Mephisto watch, and now I've thrown it out the window.
Nope, that
Well,
second Doctor
after-
Strange is Mephisto.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
but the second Peter Parker feels like he's lonely.
But see, if you say that,
You know
Eric
who to
Voss
call.
will come out of a closet somewhere and start yelling, "Oh God, Mephisto!"
Mephisto, Mephisto, Mephisto. I thought I'd get more
have we
views.
talked about the trailer at the end?
We haven't
talked
gotten
about
there.
it much.
Okay.
Jesse thinks that that's not the Doctor Strange from What If.
All right, let's fight. Ready? Bruce Buffer. We're live. Let's
That
go.
is your hot take of the night. by the way.
Hang on.
Okay, so okay. Reason number 1, skin tone. Reason number 2, he's like
He's
clearly
already
a miserable
coming.
human being.
Yeah, but he's coming across already more antagonistic and outright evil, whereas the other Doctor Strange, by the point we leave him in What If, he's basically learned his lesson and accepted a responsibility to make up for the sins of his actions and things like that. And he is a different person by the end of that. So where would, timeline-wise, this Doctor Strange come from? I think it is an adjacent Doctor Strange, a similar
Okay, so it
concept
is
to
not a okay, so it could okay, so here's my only thing. 1, I do understand the reason why visually it does not seem why it would be. 2, he could just have hung his cape up. I get that the pointy cape not being there is a throw off for him not being Strange Supreme. I totally understand that. Reason number 2 why I believe it is that the dramatic effect of Strange Supreme not having Christine in his life and the payoff of knowing that the dude that we know as Stephen Strange just married her, as we see in that trailer, would show me so much dramatic landscape between two characters that I just think Kevin Feige is like Zeke Elliott in the NFL and is like, shovel this into my face. Like, please let me get this dramatic effect. And 2, I think it's like, Sean,
I'm gonna win what for you? I was trying to stare at my phone since I was off screen for some reason, Jesse.
even if he's not marrying her, she still exists. So I think that's going to be some spur off for this guy to go absolutely berserko in some way that would be like, oh, he's going to help us. And then he's going to see her face and be like, wait.
I'm
really glad that Jesse ran away from his bad take.
Wait, do you think was What If or was what like it that it was the weird Strange Supreme? No, Colin. Were you saying that
Yeah,
it was?
that's
or was
totally Strange Supreme. And that like, because at the end of What If, is he in his like crystal thing at the end of that?
So all I'm saying is I don't know if it is or isn't. I've heard speculation either way since all this has happened. Whatever happens, I would like it to be, but I don't know.
It's the only
Maxwell
reason
said he
that What If
doesn't want it to.
exists.
Yes.
Yes. I thought What If
Yeah,
was
no, Strange
trash
is in the
and I wanted
audience.
to do
He's
with
watching.
the live
He's
action
watching her
MCU
get
as
married.
possible.
Yeah, okay.
Here, lean
I can see that because then that other annoying guy is there next to him. I can see, yeah.
I just think asking like general audiences to watch a mediocre animated show on Disney Plus to understand the MCU is shitty business practice. At least if you're asking them to watch live action TV, which the same actors is fine, but like an animated show that at best was mediocre, to understand what's going on in a movie that's going to make $100 million is asking a lot of like Tammy, who lives in Spokane and works at Limited 2.
And to back up your point, the way that Dr.
Tammy
Strange
doesn't have time for
walked
what
up
if.
to
Tammy's
Wanda,
like, I gotta sell these joggers to
the way Wanda tries to apologize
There it
for
is.
whatever happened in
There it is. We
WandaVision,
finally
and he's
found
like,
the
no,
movie.
I'm not even here about that.
Why do you look crazy?
Like,
he just throws away the plot of an entire show.
The
and is like,
notion
no,
of
I'm here about
variants of Doctor Strange being the villain is thrilling because Benedict Cumberbatch is excellent.
Why are you being
One of the
naughty?
strongest actors in the MCU, but if it's specifically that same Strange from that really depressing episode of What If that had me really close to suicide is the villain in Doctor
Yeah, that
Strange
was
2,
pretty
directed by Sam Raimi, I'm going to be like, fuck you, Kevin Feige. This is a bridge too far.
But what if
I
it
got to go
worked?
sell my joggers at the Limited 2. I don't have time for your animated television. Back to Amber.
Well,
I mean,
I
I
just
just-
my joggers.
Yeah, I'm just
At
gonna
the
throw it out there
Limited
though that
too.
Thor: The Dark World was the worst, and they made it like the
It
most
was the
important
absolute
Thor
worst.
story in.
No, The Incredible Hulk is the worst MCU movie by a significant margin. At least Thor 2 has Chris Hemsworth abs. What does The Incredible Hulk have? Edward Norton looking like he'd rather be selling joggers at the Limited 2?
Pretty sure we
Excuse
also
you,
see
sir.
his abs.
Excuse you, sir.
We also had Henry Gracie
with abs.
teaching us
The
how to
mother-
control our
you lean
breathing.
in and just argue with everybody about the Limited 2.
Excuse you, sir. The Queen of Gondor is in that movie. You better show some respect.
That movie is not good in terms
It
of
is
the.
not good at all. You know where it's better? That episode of What If.
It should not even be called an MCU movie. It's
College just I'm learning that college just likes to watch
This
the world.
Spider-Man spoiler review has shifted
Chaos.
into our
We
Marvel
literally can
talk.
turn this into
Fucking
Colin and
Ladderhouse.
Maxwell arguing over how the world should burn,
At
and
least-
I'm living for
At
it.
least Colin is kind of hot, though. If I'm going to argue with someone, they should be good on the eyes. You're good on the eyes, Colin.
Wait, are you disparaging the rest of this group?
No, but I'm specifically speaking with Colin at the present.
Just got a haircut. Wait, do we need a minute to talk about Succession, Max?
Wait, you just got your haircut? You just got your haircut? Is everyone ready?
Woo!
Blue dabba dee dabba.
It's like it's not. It's like black.
It's like 4 colors
Is it?
in one. It's like dark purple, dark blue, black, and silver. My stylist and I have dubbed
Call
it.
that
Is
midnight
everyone
blue.
ready for what we've dubbed it? We've dubbed it smoke.
Ooh.
That tracks.
Did you
And
enjoy
Buck's
the fact
back.
that it happened in tandem?
I had to get water.
What are you doing? Every time I fix it, you mess it up. and make it worse. And make it worse.
I love how this is Jesse's just sitting there in silence.
His
I just
rank.
want everyone to see the bottom of
Oh,
this list for Maxwell.
That's what's up.
What's
Iron
number
Man 3
one?
is
What's your
egregiously
number
cool.
one?
Okay, this was before I saw No Way Home. This is a couple months ago.
Okay.
My
But I
number
wanna know
one's
what your
Winter-
number one is.
Winter Soldier.
I don't like.
Yes.
Of
Mhm.
course it is. I don't like the fact that number 19 is number 19.
What's number 19?
Captain Marvel.
Boom.
Mhm.
Can I say that it's higher than most people's, and I also have it above Black Panther. So
Which is really unfortunate because it's not higher than mine.
Oh,
Can I just say that regardless of where any of these land on any sort of ranking, not a single MCU movie for me is under a 6 out of 10.
That is accurate.
There,
Makes sense.
I would never
Yeah,
see an
well,
MCU movie on the television and be like, no, I'm going to turn it. No, I'm
Okay,
going
let
to
me
sit
say-
and watch it
I mean,
because
I'll
they're all,
Hi,
they're
Chris
all
Adams.
good. A lot
Chris
are
I
Adams.
don't
bad.
know, dude. If
And
Ocean's
there are, like,
11 is
3
on
perfect.
and Thor: The Dark World is on, I might put on Ocean's 11.
Oh, I'm
No,
Ocean's
I mean, I'm
11
100% putting it on. But I
Ocean's 11 is not an IG movie, so I won't be watching that.
Otherwise,
Okay. So are you saying by that argument I could throw any IG movie at this and let me test you? Okay, so
I'm
let's see.
saying, well,
If I
no,
throw
there's
the
other
Matrix-
IG movies,
The
sure.
Matrix is on.
Matrix is my second favorite movie of all time.
Okay,
So, yeah, I'd watch
Thor:
it
The Dark
earlier.
World is on, and the Matrix.
Good. Watch it on repeat.
No, you're
It's
fine.
right behind The Sandlot for my favorite movies.
Okay.
What an eclectic
Your-
taste
wait,
in
did you just
favorite
say The
movies.
Sandlot and The
You go
Matrix?
from the Matrix to the
The
Sandlot.
Sandlot, The
Sean,
Matrix,
Sean,
and
Sean,
The Incredibles.
Sean, you're
I can ride with
killing me,
that.
Mr. Anderson.
That's taste.
I
I love how Groff is
cheers. I love that.
So listen,
Smith.
I missed an opportunity to introduce Amber to John Groff, who I know fairly well, and I'm never going to live it down. So fuck me.
That really
This is my favorite movie of all time. Right here. This is my number one.
Ooh,
I
never
couldn't
seen
watch
it.
it. I couldn't make it.
Chris, you, sir, have the link. Feel free to hop in.
You should hop in, Chris, and give your everything you want to talk about Spider-Man.
No, I didn't like it.
Because that's what we're doing.
So do you hear my top
The
five?
Rocketeer is incredible, but I would defer to PJ.
Rocketeer
Yeah.
is incredible.
I was about
is.
to ask PJ if you could only watch one movie one more time.
Thank you, Star.
Oh, it's The Rocketeer. It's my favorite comic book movie still.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear my top 5 MCU movies?
No.
Sure.
No Way Home is now at number 1.
Okay.
And Venom is number 2. I've never so the OG Spider-Man, like the first one, Homecoming, is way further down the list. It's like at number 16. Thor Ragnarok, Captain Marvel, and Shang-Chi.
What if we tell you about no.
Maybe. We can continue now. Maxwell's very
Where
good.
did we leave
Thor,
off?
Thor
make it-
Ragnarok is my number 2.
We leave off everywhere. I respect all these opinions and
Yes.
agree-
Yes.
Another yes. Always. We always want both of them. Another great moment is when Toby uses his web for the first time, and they
Andrews.
they both went.
Yes.
Whoa!
But like,
He's
so
like,
you're,
"This
and then when
dude
they're all, and then when they're all
But he's-
hanging on the Statue of Liberty talking, and they're just like, so your body just makes it, like, but does it
How
come
does
out
it
of
work?
it?
He's like, and he's just like, well, it's just like breathing. I just do it.
I don't like. I just do it. I just don't not breathe. It's
Like,
and then
Andrew
having,
is so
watched
fascinating.
the originals, and he's like,
All the atoms.
"Go web."
and then they're like, does it come
Shazam.
out of anywhere else, or just your wrists?
I really wanted
You know, I
to
don't
say,
feel
so does
comfortable
it come out of
talking
your
about
butt?
this.
Because that's where a normal spider.
It's like, have you ever had a web block before? And he's like, this whole
Actually,
existential
While
thing.
Back in
literally
2004,
explaining
funny you
plot
mention
holes of Spider-Man 2 that they do not explain ever why he is unable to produce web at various times, and then suddenly when he needs it to save Aunt May during the Doc Ock fight, he's able to fully use his powers the entire time without explaining why he suddenly could go without using them to using them. And then in this
one in
movie,
3 guys. One in
That
3
was
guys.
that was a commentary on erectile dysfunction.
That's what I always
right.
say, yeah.
But then in this movie, he's like, yeah, dude, I had a web block. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, he just explained
a
the
mental
whole
issue.
plot holes of the movie casually.
Casually. What
Thank
a
God.
Spider-Man 3
Okay,
was awful.
I have a slight con that I need to bring up. Why does Lizard look so bad?
Because he looked bad to begin with.
It doesn't look like a lizard.
Not as bad.
Literally used the same model.
Go back 7 years. He looks better in 2012.
No, but what I'm saying is that they used the same model. So when you use the same model 7 years later, it looks bad.
It's
Hang on.
still because they thought it was a
No,
dinosaur.
I'm doing a
it
side by
looks like a
side here.
dinosaur.
He is also the only fully CGI character in the movie.
He was fully CGI in
Sandman.
Amazing Spider-Man 2, and it looked better.
I think.
Well, no, but
Sandman
like
was
Sandman,
no
you
crap,
still see his like. There's still like something of his face, though. It's still,
Yeah, like it's an actual performance still. I get
Yeah,
where you're coming from.
still weird.
Guys, not to interrupt, but no, we got to.
Utah.
We got. Give me two.
Because there's
I don't want anything to do with either of these two because they're is such bullshit. They
No,
said
PJ, you are not mad at me.
Oh no,
You're
I
not mad
am.
at me.
You fucking
No.
put Scrooge in the F tier.
I
Fuck
haven't seen
you
it.
guys.
I can't argue with it because I haven't seen it.
It's Scrooged. God damn.
PJ,
Anyway.
you're just proving to us how much of a movie lover you actually are. If you don't realize that that's
PJ.
not top tier Bill Murray or top tier A Christmas Carol.
You're out of your minds.
PJ, I just need to ask you a question.
Yes.
Is White Christmas a Christmas movie?
No.
What? Yes, I love this
title. What is White Christmas? Do I have to Google this?
By the way,
is No Way Home a Christmas movie?
Yes. As we get into this white Christmas
Halloween
movie. Hey, as we get into this white
Hawkeye is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, see, William Harold's
Yeah.
right here. You put Scrooge in F tier. Fuck you guys. This is my Joker origin.
Yeah, that was so funny.
This moment right now is your Joker work because I feel like it could have come so many other times, PJ.
When people tell me 21 is the worst casino movie.
I will tell you, like, in defense of Scrooge,
Jim
I've
Sturgis,
seen so much better Bill Murray, and I've seen so much better Christmas Carol. That was not top
Muppets
tier
Christmas
Bill Murray.
Carol. Better
Sean's
movie.
first mistake was putting the word review in the top right corner.
Maxwell said that the Adams brothers have terrible taste.
They do.
So let's hear it. Adams Brothers,
Wait,
what did
here's
you
the
all
thing.
think
No.
of No Way Home?
I haven't
Here's
seen
the thing,
Scrooge yet.
y'all can think we have terrible taste, but do you at least respect our opinions?
No.
No.
They
Well,
actually
then I know
legit-
where the fuck I
They-
stand.
hold on.
Okay.
I respect
They
Christmas.
legit have terrible taste because they love Whataburger.
I respect
They
Christmas.
Oh, Buck,
Take-
why?
take
That's
Buck
a
out
low
of here.
blow, Buck.
Buck's been
I have
here.
to.
God, we're
freaking
thinking
have
of
Hey,
you, bud.
hey,
No, you gotta
everybody,
Feel better.
we all got to tell Pastor Scott Fox, we all hope he feels better soon. He had a miss
Wait.
opening night. It was
Is
very
that the
sad.
guy?
Go.
Is that the guy from Party of Five?
Yes,
Not
100%.
different Scott Fox.
That
Different
was
Scott
Matt-
Fox.
I
His
thought
name's
that was
Scott
Matthew
Fox?
Fox.
No.
Scott, go away
it's
before you
not
get spoiled
it's
before you
not
see the
just
movie.
a childhood favorite, Scott.
Run
It's
away,
a
Scott.
great classic
Go away, Scott.
Christmas film.
I want
Spoilers.
to talk about Spider-Man. Can we talk
I
about
want to talk about
Spider-Man?
how Robert
Not
has
until
terrible taste
Scott
in Christmas.
leaves.
That's fine.
We've just been talking about Christmas movies for the past 2 hours. Let's talk about Spider-Man.
This just in. PJ's favorite movies are miserable and incite despair.
Okay,
in the viewers.
Robert, what's your favorite
That's like my
moment out
life.
of No Way Home?
PJ's entire life is miserable and incites despair for the viewers.
I guarantee my favorite
He just did
moment
that, you
is
didn't
not
hear it?
anyone
PJ,
else's
you know what you need to
favorite
do? You
moment.
need to
Alright.
just turn the page, PJ, and start afresh.
My favorite moments of No Way Home is the little things that Spider-Man talk started.
Wait, have y'all not
You
actually
can't
been
complain about
talking
the
yet?
fact that you did this to yourself.
No, we've been
Have y'all
talking
not
about
talked
it.
about Spider-Man yet?
No, we have.
We're waiting for you guys. You finally
Yeah,
got.
we waited for you after your terrible fucking Christmas takes.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you.
Awfully
Thank
sweet
you,
of y'all.
everyone who's.
All I'm saying is that when, oh no, wait, that was Holiday Inn. Never mind.
I haven't seen that movie, but I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with the hotel chain, so I'm already.
Jesse's
Here's the
so
thing.
irritated when
Here's the
he
thing.
schedules a show and he's like, "There's no rules," but
If
also,
all
why are
three
we sticking to
Spider-Men
the
were
rules?
in my apartment, I would definitely fuck Andrew Garfield first. I'm out.
No, hold on.
That's par for the
We
course.
wanted to talk about
Okay.
Spider-Man. We went on the Spider-Man ride at Disney California Adventure with the Adamses and Sean.
My arms are so tired.
Wingblade.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun.
This is all you do for like 5 whole minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, my
No,
arms were hurting
no,
after that
no.
ride.
Yeah.
It's not great.
My
The
arms were
first
hurting.
time we went on a little bit high, and we were just like,
A little bit. We were fucked up.
"Whoa, what's that?"
Dude, that was a fun ride. I like that one.
Anyway,
Anyway,
so
That-
Spider-Man.
that ga-
Robert, Chris,
that gave me the workout that I'm used to, like within 5 minutes, more in about 10 minutes time frame. So
Nice.
I was trying to make a masturbation joke and it fell flat. So I apologize to everyone
Forgot it.
involved in the stream.
No, I got it, and I tried to undo
Okay,
it real
so
fast.
when in the
Jesse-
chat, y'all were telling me
Jesse
to jump
is
in,
just-
and I asked if y'all wanted both Adamses, and you said yes. This is what you
Y'all
get.
should have said no.
You should have
Y'all-
said just
This is
no,
a
Chris.
mistake. Such a
Jesse's
mistake.
head is just hanging in shame down in the bottom. He's just like, I
Jesse,
regret
this is what you asked
all
for.
of
What do you
this.
expect with all of this here?
All right, well,
back up. We're
let's
gonna
let's
get
go.
Robert, Chris.
One person first. Who's older?
Robert.
I know Robert's
Me.
older. I was waiting for you to say.
I'm
it.
probably the oldest
go
person
first.
on camera right now.
How old are you?
40.
Yes,
Jesus, you're old. Ugh.
Yeah, thank you.
Who's the second oldest?
Is
I'm
this legal for
35.
you to talk to us?
I'm 37. Buck?
I turned 33 in 50 minutes.
Then what
Holy
the fuck
shit.
is up with your
Wait,
hair? bro?
really?
It's Buck's birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday in
Happy
Florida.
birthday,
You're
Buck.
already 33.
Yeah, 33.
Buck,
And
Buck,
happy birthday, New York.
Buck, we will send you all the Streamlabs we've gotten so far.
Oh,
No.
kitty.
No,
We got,
I will.
we got $5 from Jake Yakoveta.
I'll send it right back. I'll send it right back.
Okay.
We'll send you
Happy
everything we
birthday,
got.
Buck!
We'll send you everything we got. It's $5 from Yakovetis.
Yes.
I don't even want it. I don't.
There it is.
Hey, we had Winston on for a Hawkeye review on his birthday, so it's a birthday thing to come on this show.
I got to do the
Allison,
Toby
what-
Maguire dance.
Allison, what were you trying to ask?
I was trying to ask what your guys' thoughts were on No Way Home, so Jesse
Oh, it was
can
good.
stop looking so forlorn at the bottom of the screen.
It was, yeah. I'm
Good
a
movie.
big Spider-Man fan. I've been a Spider-Man fan ever since I was a kid. So I went into this with the comic book knowledge. I was pretty much like Coy, only not doing the cool shit that Coy gets to do.
Dude, he's had an insane month for being like.
Yeah, like I'm super jealous of what Coy was able to do.
Ryan, go away so we don't spoil it for you.
Oh, what fun to sling a web and take the bad guys down.
Wait,
Alan,
wait,
just
wait,
make sure to like
wait,
the video, Alan. Just make
Yeah.
sure to like the video, and then you can.
Spider-Man No Way Home hit like if you're a diehard Spider-Man comic book fan, it checked off a lot of really good Easter eggs. There's a lot of comments, innuendo, stuff that if you're not familiar with the comics, it hit, and it was so good. That aside, now the things that everyone saw, it was good. There was a bit of it where it felt like the first half was kind of a nostalgic mess, just kind of like, hey, you remember this? But the second half was so good. Anyways, that's my ultimate opinion.
Maxwell,
Yes, man.
calling you.
So, if we were to look at Spider-Man No Way Home as an intellectual, metatextual approach of a movie studio taking a trip down memory lane,
Why wouldn't you look at it any other way?
that Spider-Man No Way Home is as intelligent and accomplished as a film that can be, considering it elegantly weaves 3 generations of Spider-Man pictures in a package that feels complete, that is
Whose review are you
emotional,
reading?
that is fun and joyous, right? Like there is a version of this movie that panders. There is a version of this movie that doesn't hit the beats, and the fact that this all works as well as it does, I think, is a near cinematic miracle. And considering the bumpy road that Sony has had, and considering the deal that they made with the MCU, I think it's a minor miracle that this all works as well as it does. And I think the fact that they were able to write this and make this all work should really be applauded. It's easy to be cynical about a movie like this and be like, well, you know, they just brought in the old villains and the old Spider-Man. And again, there is a version of this movie that is a joke and that fails. But the fact, like, this is arguably the first Spider-Man movie that works well with having multiple villains that all have a purpose, that all have an arc and a motivation. It balances them out well. And the chemistry between the 3 Spider-Men or Spider-Men, it's really, the more I think about it from an intellectual standpoint, it's really an accomplished work of populist cinema. I mean, it's not like, you know, we're not talking like the work of our Chitterong Weir Zergadawl here, but it's pretty darn good.
What?
I didn't say that name right.
To that
Here,
point,
It's not Uncle Boomney who recalls his past lives, but
here's the thing. I was waiting to bring this up on our show on Wednesday, but this is my ultimate.
Hey, you
feeling.
do your own show. What is this? This is a cookie in my mouth.
Yep, eat
Cool.
the cookie.
So y'all know comic books where if you want to incorporate someone, all you have to do is just draw them into the panel. That's how easy it is to put, like, say, Silver Surfer in the story.
Pencils or pens,
Craven,
or crayons, markers.
all you got to do is just draw them into frame.
Wow.
Do you know how much work it takes to get people to cooperate? Into
Oh, we
a
already,
movie?
Robert, we covered this in the reference of like it being like Moneyball.
I was
where
going to
they
say,
were
it's
sitting at
all
the table
money.
with
You
3
just pay them
phones
and
live.
they come. You pay them and they
But-
come.
Also,
But
I
the
feel
fact-
like
Phones
the second
open,
Buck
one of them with
statement-
Toby, one of them with Andrew, and the other with the fucking.
The fact that we're at the point where the MCU, if you are hired to be any character in the MCU, your understanding from here on out is if they want to use Gamora or they want to use Nebula. I don't know why I'm going Guardians of the Galaxy, but if they want to use any character for any reason at any point in the story of the entire MCU, you as an actor, you are absolutely down for doing this. That is the greatest achievement of all.
Unless your name is Edward Norton or
Terrence Howard. Yeah, then you done fucked up.
Wait, Shoke's comment Shoke said, so in this movie, it's the first time Holland mentioned getting bit by a spider, correct? Yeah, the only thing I think I remember is him saying when whatever happened when he was talking to Tony Stark in his bedroom. And that's
No, he says it to Ned when they're walking out of the high school for the very first time. And he's like, wait, can I get bit by a spider? No, pretty sure the spider's dead, but
oh, right. Yeah.
Look at Sean, the people's IG FCL champion.
People's IG champ. Chris, what did you think of No Way Home?
I thought it was insanely good. I was crying, multiple times throughout the movie. One, it hits emotions way harder. Yeah, exactly. It hits emotions way harder than you would ever have expected this movie to do. Super emotional, super. It really nails just a really good Spider-Man story. I mean, you talk about in the comics, there's instances, of course, where there's multiple universes, there's multiple Spider-Man. Marvel Universe has been doing this in comic books for forever with the whole multiple universe storyline stuff. But to be able to see it play out into a movie, and then for them to turn around and both honor and respect, regardless of how good some of the movies were, or how bad some of the movies were that came before, they still honored and respect them. They were able to poke some fun at some parts that they were able to poke fun at. But it just, I love the amount of care and love that went into being able to tie this movie together with its predecessors, and everything they did, I thought was tier. Is there some plot holes in it? Yes, there's a couple plot holes here and there, but other than that,
it's fine.
Yeah, other than that, I'm way willing to overlook that just for how good it was and how well they were able to tie it in together.
Yeah,
we did this the other day or earlier this morning, I think it was, and I think reading the Rotten Tomatoes negative reviews is fun. So I'd like to call it 17 out of 300. They're not many. It's at 95%.
I just want to say before we do that, I want to go back and circle around real quick to something Maxwell said about this movie could have been a disaster no matter how you look at it and who was making it. That is so specific to this movie in particular that they took the worst fucking Spider-Man storyline in the comics and turned it into arguably the best Spider-Man story you could ask for.
One More Day is the worst, and they made
One More Day
over the clone.
Dude, One More Day. One More Day is the worst fucking Spider-Man storyline. It completely betrays the character, and Peter makes a decision that he would never have made. This movie forces him to make a decision for other people, not something stupid and selfish. This movie understands where where it goes wrong and fixes it.
To that point, I think one of my favorite parts of this movie is the inciting incident of all of this is based on Peter trying to help out his friends.
Yep.
It's not about himself. It's not about him wallowing or lamenting that he didn't get into college. He just feels bad that he roped MJ and Ned into his mess. And that's what Peter is so great at. That's what separates Peter Parker from every other superhero. He just cares about the people that he loves and who have sacrificed for him. When he's talking to that woman on the bridge, I can't remember the character's name. He doesn't even care about him getting a second chance. He just wants MJ and Ned to get a second chance, and that makes
this isn't about me.
So endearing.
And she was trying to and I'm gonna think about you too. And he's like,
no,
I don't
me.
care.
I'm a nerd.
You should absolutely play Oprah if they ever made a biopic.
She was in the movie for 2 minutes, and she was really good.
I can't remember the actress's name, but I've seen her in a lot of things, and she is always very talented.
I like when she goes and yells at
that's so funny when she's like, I'm coming for you with her purse.
And she grabs her purse. I'm like,
how dare you?
I'm watching you. This is all your fault.
Beat the shit out
that
of him.
got a big cackle out of my crowd.
Yeah.
I gotta.
That was hilarious.
Didn't she look at like Doc Ock and be like, "You bad person"?
Yeah,
that was not cool. That was not okay. He said that was not.
I would like to second what Buck said earlier. Like,
Guys, you guys heard that sound bite.
that Andrew Garfield deserves an Oscar, not just for Tick Tick Boom, but the fact that he just lied his way through an entire year.
Yes, that's what I've said. Yeah.
Literally, let's talk about Tick Tick Boom. Also, we happened to be at a performance of Freestyle Love Supreme with Lin-Manuel Miranda last night, and part of the show was literally him going, "No, stop asking me if I know if Andrew Garfield is in Spider-Man." And then he goes,
No, he goes, "I don't know."
Or no, he goes,
"Yeah, I know."
and then walked backwards, and we're like,
that was a great humble brag. I'm really proud of you, best friend.
"Thank you."
We
Jesse,
got
we're calling
a
God.
donation. We got a Streamlab donation.
Hey.
My
all the
my Jewy is
oxygen.
tingling.
All the oxygen just got sucked out of this room.
Jesse, who sent it?
Our great friend Jake Yakavetta actually got up to grab some food really quick, but I got the notification that we got a Streamlabs. So I had to pop on and say thanks, Jake.
Oh,
he says, "This is the one day of the year I will be nice to Buck. Happy birthday, brother. Don't ever try to touch my fucking hat again, though."
Oh my god! Wait, is today
Thank you, Jake.
today
Appreciate
is your
you, bud.
birthday, right?
Yes, December 19th. So
birthday?
Can I
Happy
tell you
birthday.
something crazy?
Happy birthday.
The first
What?
time I ever streamed with LGR was during your birthday stream.
oh my god, yeah.
So it's a year of this fucking disaster. Welcome.
Happy birthday, Buck. I love
Happy
you, buddy.
birthday.
Thanks, guys.
I'm rooting for you in fantasy, Buck.
There's no way
gonna
I'm
buy
beating
you-
Joe.
I have decided
Dude,
that
it's
if
a
you are
7.
kind enough to
You're
send me your address,
down
your
negative
birthday gift
7.
will be a bottle of Just for Men.
Okay.
So what I was gonna say, because Maxwell was so eloquently reading off a nice review.
He didn't
I
read
like to
it.
call
Nothing.
shame.
Robert.
He literally said that all on his own.
It seemed like you were reading, so you're so damn eloquent. Okay, forgive
And
me.
I am not as drunk as I was an hour ago, but I'm still pretty fucked up. So you all should
We're
just
not drunk yet.
wake in your pants.
I
I'm
wanted
not
to
that
call
drunk.
attention
Not that drunk.
to Mr. Fred Topple from the United Press International, who says No Way Home should
Fred.
have focused on making new viewers fall
Fred.
in love with the characters, so they want to discover their previous movies.
Fred.
You mean the 8th movie of a Spider-Man? You mean the 27th movie in the MCU?
How to
We
tell
should
someone
focus
you're out
on
of touch.
new viewers instead of telling the story that we've led up to this point.
Freddie.
How to tell people you're out of touch without telling them that you're out of touch.
No, he's saying he's out of touch.
I think the Return of the Jedi should have focused on making new viewers fall in love with Luke Skywalker and not touched on any of the fucking story that we had gotten up to that point.
That was
I'm
the problem
sorry,
with Return of the
but
Jedi.
please take away this man's review card.
Oh,
Anyway.
No, you know who
That's all.
should be taken away?
That's all it was.
Fucking Variety. That's who should lose it.
Goddamn Variety and their
Friday.
fucking spoilers.
I did go back and look at Variety's like spoiler review that came out before, like I think their spoiler review came out on Wednesday, so it came out before the general public saw it on Thursday.
Monday
And
night.
They were
No, it was-
very. Was it Monday night?
It was Monday night.
They were still like very reserved on what they said in that. So kudos to them for holding something fucking back.
Not enough. No, they get kudos. They're holding if they weren't holding anything back, then freaking shove it.
I didn't see any mention of Venom in their review, so kudos. Good thing.
Wait, Venom was in the movie? Ah, spoilers, man.
Yeah.
For a moment,
spoiler
if you
review.
blink, you missed him.
And it wasn't even Venom. It was just
Chris
Eddie
and
Brock
Robert
sitting at
and
a bar.
Colin. How
And
many
then
of you
Tom
during
Hardy
that
doing the
scene-
voice.
Yeah.
How many of you during that scene looked at each other or said to someone you were with or just said it out loud, "Football is life"?
Oh,
I did.
When he was in Mexico?
No.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Ted Lasso, so that went.
Oh,
That sounds like
I
a
had a
Buck problem.
conniption,
What up, Jerry?
and I was upset because it meant he could never be in the MCU as anyone else.
Well,
and I think that he would be just like the most incredible, like TI type character.
He could
in
literally.
this
They did
movie.
it with Gemma Chan. Why couldn't they do it with him?
Yeah, they did it with who was the lady from the one that got me was the lady from Luke Cage that was in Civil War.
Yeah. Oh, damn it.
Slow down. Come on.
Oh,
Woodward.
Woodard.
Alfred Woodard.
Alfred
Yeah.
Woodard.
Where she played one character, she played
15
like the
seconds.
head villain in Luke Cage, and then she was
They've
like
also done it with
the
Mahershala
catalyst.
Ali.
Woman with gun at elevator in Civil
She
War.
she didn't even have a gun. She just reached into her purse, and Tony was
correct.
like,
A woman who Tony Stark thought had a gun.
Miranda Dillard.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
they also did it with Mahershala Ali because he was what's his face? I can't think of his name.
Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth.
yeah.
And,
Oh, he was Cottonmouth, yeah, and now
he
he's gonna
also
be
did
Blade.
season.
Excuse me. Blade.
I'm not calling him Bloody.
Everybody
Blade.
Blade.
I think I know something about this, and it's definitely pronounced.
Can I
Blade.
have a hot take of who I wish I could have seen, who I wish kind of came back, even though he was terrible.
Oh,
in the
is it
Raimi
gonna be Jake
Spider-Man.
Gyllenhaal?
No,
Because
no, I would have
have
loved to have. I would have loved to have
James
seen
Franco.
Topher Grace and his teeth.
No.
Nope.
No, I'm okay.
I would have rather had Dane DeHaan.
So legitimately, the thing that I said when Ned opened the portal for Toby Peter, I was literally like, no, send it back.
Jake
Just keep it
Johnson?
there. No, just keep it
Wait,
there. And then he
wait.
came out and he turned into Pastor Dad, and I was like, I guess that's fair.
Okay,
into battle as a cool youth pastor.
So to support what Allison just said, I would have liked it if Topher Grace popped up and like Spider-Man
Starjuice got my
Tom
back.
Holland immediately just punched him out and he just disappeared.
I
Like
mean,
he
I
immediately
really
got
loved
knocked
it.
out and sucked back into his own reality.
I just wanted Topher Grace to go and get blonde.
Fucking
tips again.
Foreman is Venom. Get the fuck out of here. That's
Here's my
literally-
here's my thing. The whole movie was about redemption for all these villains, right? So
Sure.
so they all got their awesome redemption arc and they all got healed and stuff. You can't heal stupid. So Topher Grace was obviously out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if instead it was Topher and Tom sitting at the bar?
Yes, that's what I was about to say. What it, they went
I
they
would've
went
loved it.
full
I would've-
troll job, and
I would've
they had
eaten
Topher
that shit up.
Skinny dipping.
full troll
That would've
job.
been
They
funny.
have Topher walk into the bar behind Eddie sitting there, or behind Tom sitting there, and they're like, "I've been looking for you. We gotta go. We gotta get to New York and get." And then they just disappear.
And Topher's like, my
Who's the
spider
guy
sense is
from-
tingling. If you know what I'm
no.
saying.
You symbiote. Leave Topher. No, stick with me.
Did you guys wait for me to leave to actually start talking about the
Their
movie?
bodies and then go on to the guy from Ted Lasso,
No,
and he's the new Venom.
I would
Oh,
say
Danny Rojas better be the next Venom, or
Yeah.
My hot
you'll be
take
like
that
symbiote is life.
So either
My-
Danny Rojas is the next Venom, or we find out that he is like dead body found at a resort.
Symbiote is life.
my
I'm
hot
gonna take
take.
my joke, Maxwell.
My hot take was that I kind of wish we got a little bit of Topher Grace and his teeth with people that were coming back, but no one else agreed with me.
It's fucking Foreman. He will always be Foreman.
I mean,
And
Star Trek.
Eric,
Yeah.
your car.
Starju agreed with me.
So you
I
got
just
you
wanted-
got something.
I'm really
just wanted to
curious.
see. I just wanted to see the hair again. That's all.
I'm really curious what direction they're wanting to go with it now, though, because like they gave us that tease at the end of Carnage where he's like, "Oh, he's going to be involved in the MCU, I guess." That's great, I
And
guess.
then they zap
and
him
then
out
they,
of the
and
MCU.
then they
A quick
immediately
round trip.
rescind that at the end of this one.
They immediately
I
zap
think they
him out.
know.
To me,
I
it
think
read
they
his
brought him
entire
in
involvement
to get the
was
symbiote
to
there.
leave the symbiote
Yeah.
there, and something's gonna happen.
Now,
So Eddie
my
was in he was in the MCU as long as I was in California for Spectacular. Just a real quick round trip.
Here's the thing,
Now
though.
America
If
Chavez
y'all
can take anyone anywhere.
if y'all have seen the trailers for Morbius, there is a part in that where Morbius is making the joke of like, "Hi, I'm Venom. I'm just kidding. I'm your good doctor, Michael.
But Michael
Morbius.
Keaton's also in it.
And Michael
help?
Keaton
Maxwell
is in
has
it.
a
So that
comment.
is in the Morbius is in the MCU, but he's
Is it?
making a joke. Yeah,
It has to
he's
be.
making a joke
if
about
Vulture is
Venom.
in it. Yeah.
It could just
Yeah.
be a
Yeah,
variant.
Vulture's
Could be a variant.
all the Spider-Man characters belong to Sony. They can use whatever MCU or not Sony characters they want to at any given point in time.
True.
I
They're
feel
about
like
to
I need to
X-Men.
post a picture of like
Right.
Charlie Day from
In
the
an
the
MCU
meme.
movie, they have to confer with Kevin Feige. That's part of the agreement.
They're about to
Yeah.
Foxman this thing up.
Maxwell.
Yeah.
My uneducated but thoughtful opinion is that we will see Andrew Garfield Spider-Man fight Venom.
I would love to see that. I think he
I
earned it.
think that is the
Right.
extent that we'll see Tom Hardy's Venom in the MCU, and by reintroducing Garfield into this, we're gonna get not Amazing Spider-Man 3, but a Venom 3 with Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker in it.
Would anybody
we could
read
definitely see
Amazing
that.
Spider-Man 3 like they read Smallville season 11?
Yes.
I didn't read it.
That was my idea walking out of the theater was if I'm not able to see Andrew Garfield again, I would love to see a creator at Marvel pick up his story and show me what he was saying on top of the school where
He said he was
became-
rageful.
Yes, where he stopped pulling his punches. I would love to see that story because like that's kind of the more realistic version of emo Toby is like non-Venom angry Spider-Man.
Mike, the Nightmare Alley spoiler review chaos stream is next month. So I'm sorry.
I will get my spoiler-free review of that worst movie Guillermo's made. I'm super disappointed.
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield would make those so much better movies.
He would.
Oh, dude.
But also he's 38, so let's play.
He
with
don't
Venom.
look 38. That's the thing.
Agent Venom could be fun.
God, he looked good.
Wait,
Let's
who looked better
you're
in this
33,
movie,
and you
Andrew
look
Garfield or
15,
Jamie
20
Foxx?
years older than Andrew Garfield.
Oh,
What's
Andrew
wrong-
Garfield all the way.
What's wrong with looking older than 30
Whoa,
years?
whoa! Put
What?
me and Allison split screen. I got Jamie
Why?
Foxx. She's got Andrew Garfield. Whoa, are you kidding me?
What did you say?
I
It was
said,
chaos.
who looked better in this movie, Andrew Garfield or Jamie Foxx? And she said Andrew Garfield, and I was like, whoa!
I love.
No, I got Jamie.
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx
Well,
looked good.
I think
I mean,
Jamie had the
they
biggest
both looked
glow up.
great.
Yeah.
That's true. But
Literally.
but Andrew
Literally
Garfield.
gained teeth.
He literally glowed up.
Andrew
No,
Garfield
his
has
teeth were
has
corrected
not
by the
aged.
eels in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
You got to watch where you fall, dude.
Yeah,
You gotta
that'll
watch
do
where
it.
you fall. Yeah.
That'll
Andrew,
do it.
Okay,
Andrew
so I just
Garfield,
have to
Andrew
say
Garfield
before-
has not looked like
Did-
he aged a day over.
Did anyone else
32.
when Flint said, "Oh, I fell into a super collider"? I was like Leo pointing at the screen.
Yeah, y'all got to stop
That was
falling
perfect.
into things, y'all.
How many Spider-Verse references can we get?
God dang it, Jesse!
I
your
did
puns.
like Electro's.
Proud of
Like
you.
I could have sworn there should have been a black Spider-Man by now. Like, that was funny.
And the fact that you said it to Andrew really makes me feel like Miles would work best with Andrew Spider-Man.
Yes.
Probably.
I can see that happening.
There's a
And,
lot. There was a lot of good comic book nods, like when Ned was like, "Don't worry, I've got all these powers now that I can open portals. I'm not gonna be a villain." Funny. He actually is a villain in the comics.
Yeah.
He's a
Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
I
there a
felt
world
that
where we
way
find
hanging
out?
out with Sean and Jesse.
Fan service better than Endgame did. I felt like it because Endgame was so chock full of all of the fan service, and it was just fan service all the way through the third act. But I feel like this movie took fan service and also mixed it in with good storytelling and actually redeemed what we felt to be not great movies, no matter which ones you thought were not great of the original 5.
Yeah.
Like before the MCU took it over. I think it really worked all of the kinks out and made it so much better and made it so much more palatable. Because Spider-Man was not my favorite.
Yeah.
And I would never have given a Spider-Man movie number 1 in the MCU without this. And Willem Dafoe is just amazing. I know I was gone for a good while, but there's my take.
Can we bring that image back up again of Willem Dafoe there?
Let's get them crazy eyes.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm so
Yo,
thinking
the crowd lost its mind.
Dude, lost its mind.
So hold on. So does anybody else look at this and think Jolo Trujillo?
Yeah, kind of.
What? Who? What did?
What's his face from Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Jolo Trujillo. I can't say his name.
Jolo Trujillo. Yeah.
No.
I'm seeing a little bit there.
So, question for y'all: when y'all went to go see Endgame, did the people in the theater cheer during the moments that you should
Here's
cheer?
the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
100%.
You right? Okay. This is the big conversation that I've been having in my brain of how I've been able to like rationally rank these things, because I have to take away: are the movies all great? Yes, in their own ways. Can you compare Endgame to No Way Home? In so many
Yes.
ways, no. In very few, yes. So let's
The amount of the
try.
audience cheers.
The one way you can is with the audience cheer. And here is where we can really get into the differences between the two. Big audience cheer in, I think, top 3 MCU moments. And disagree with me and yell at me.
No.
Bring me Thanos, Sling Ring
Infinity War.
appearances, and Hammer in Cap's hands.
Yes.
I think those
So,
3
from
moments, and let's
Endgame?
try to rank those. I think if you put Bring Me Thanos at 3, the real conversation begins. And I think the only reason that Mjolnir going into Cap's hand wins is because I had no fucking idea that was going to happen.
So
I had a smidge of a thing from a thing in another movie that maybe glimpsed that something like that was going to happen, and then a twidge of a frame in that film made me think that was going to happen, instead of 18 months of speculation and set photos that led to a movie that then influenced the moment. Was I so excited when that happened, when they came through the portals? Fuck yeah, I was. But did I know it was going to happen?
So for comparison,
kind of.
It is impossible to ignore the extraneous context of a film's release.
In which case, Sling Ring takes it 1,000,000,000%.
And
out
if
the
we
wazoo.
consider what we as a society have suffered over the last 2 years with the pandemic, with our shared trauma, this in some ways has more of an impact because it feels like a release we've all been needing since March of 2020. Because if we look at the box office numbers, this is the first movie since March of 2020 where just about everyone who gets up and goes to the movies is going to the movies. This is what everyone has been waiting for. Whether that's a good idea or not regarding the new variant and the cases we're seeing, that's not for me to say. But
we
in
were
terms
wanting
of
something
emotional
close to
catharsis these moments are providing for audiences, I would make the argument that it at least equals, if not tops.
It's like 1A, 1B. It's like when nerds on Reddit talk about S tier and A tier anime. It's
That's
like
so
right
funny
there.
considering the Addams Brothers just did an S tier stream earlier tonight.
Exactly.
This is the comparison of
Or the
what was the
wrong
audience,
tier,
the audience during Endgame versus the audience of now. Endgame, like at least the showing we went to, people were yelling at Cap with Mjolnir, the portals opening, and then
Standing
Cap,
ovations.
and then Cap saying "Avengers Assemble."
I had standing ovations with Garfield with the
Okay,
sling
I
ring.
heard that. I was
with
at
this
work
movie,
yesterday and I heard that
this movie, it was Matt Murdock popping up, it was Garfield popping up, it was Tobey Maguire popping up, and that was it. It was good. It was close to what Endgame did, but I think Endgame did the fan service better.
I got so many more though. No,
Yeah, our theater didn't shut up.
The moment
Ours
that
was
hit
we
the
had-
hardest was all three of them swinging together.
Like,
I got cheers too.
Oh, like them swinging.
We also,
When they dove,
when
it's the dive.
Green Goblin, when
Everything
Green Goblin's
from the
bomb,
dive to the landing is
I will listen.
when they're swinging off each other's webs.
Luna's favorite moment was when we left her alone at home to sleep while we went and saw it twice.
No, but we got huge cheers with Goblin and his first little bomb rolling on the bridge. Got a huge pop for that one.
So,
obviously the I'm somewhat of a scientist myself line got a huge
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one got one.
I had more cheers in this film, I want to say, like quick cheers, than what I got in Endgame. And we got a lot in Endgame, but we got them, they were fewer but longer. Like there were a lot more people cheer, like a lot longer cheers when he picks up Thor's hammer, because I can't fucking say it, so that's what I'm calling it.
Mjolnir. Call it meow meow.
Meow meow. What's meow meow?
Everyone knows what
That's
meow
what
meow is.
that's what Kat Dennings calls it.
Yeah.
You're good.
I think that we've all said a lot, and I think we all love the movie.
Yeah.
So
It was a piece
and
of
we've been
trash.
going for
Just
almost 2
garbage.
hours. So
Garbage
it was
movie.
horrible. Garbage movie. Garbage
worst.
opinions. Let's
Not only
Let's
the
hear
worst
MCU
Spider-Man movie,
movie.
but the worst MCU movie, likely.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. It's like on Eternals level. Sorry, that was
Wow.
a dig for Chris. That was for Chris.
I was gonna
As
joke
much
Dark
as-
World, but
bro. Chris
As
didn't
much
even
as
show
Sean
up.
is trying to help me there, he just lost all privileges. And Allison, I want to welcome you.
Hey guys, I'm back. So this was fun.
wow.
Wow, we're exciting.
So hey, let's run down the line and say goodbye and say our favorite moment. Whatever your favorite moment was, for whether it was a
I love
happy
that.
or a sad moment or whatever, just say goodbye and say your favorite moment. Go
Guarantee
this
no
this
one
way.
has mine.
Go.
Guaranteed.
Robert's not looking at me, so we're
Robert
gonna skip
first.
him. Oh no, there he is.
Say your favorite. Say your bye-byes and favorite moment. Ready, set, go.
Bye. So plugs as well during
Sure.
this.
Yeah. Make it
You can follow me at Robert Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I'll go ahead and plug for the Cinefanatics, youtube.com/Cinefanatics. Follow at Twitter, Instagram at Cinefanatics MLP. My favorite moment. Oh, I don't know. Like I do like that shot, the superhero shot of the 3 Spider-Men all joining in right before that shot from the trailer that they edited out, one of the Spider-Man hitting Lizard.
It's just
That
in
was-
the Brazilian trailer, by the way.
Yeah, but
It's
I still
nowhere.
But I
fucking
love
saw
I
it.
love seeing. I'm a technical person behind
That's
the scenes,
interesting.
does like editing and whatnot. I love the fact that they edited that Spider-Man out,
Yeah.
Both of
and then
them.
you see the Lizard just like that was a great shot. That was I'll be honest. Actually, I would say my favorite shot was probably the 3 Spider-Man all hugging.
Hugging. Okay.
I think that was
Jesse went
probably
to
the
click
best.
it before me.
Yes.
Oh.
So good.
Roy on the
So
left.
good.
I'm
Because
gonna
you would have
cry.
never thought that would have been possible.
Right.
Mhm.
And they
Allison,
pulled it
what
off.
about you?
Well, you can find me. I was early. You can find me on Twitter at Allison Salamone. You can
Did you just have a stroke?
I'm having a stroke.
It's the
You
alimony
can-
without the divorce.
Alimony without the divorce. You can find me on Twitter at Allison Salamone. You can find me over on What Real Entertainment with Spin from the Real. Hanging out here when I force myself onto any and all of Jesse's shows. And my favorite, I think, I'm probably about to steal Sean's because we kind of talked about it earlier, but and I 100% agreed. No, I just like having anything where the 3 of them are together. I think the 3 Spider-Mans are together is just perfection. Honestly, I really think when they were just talking about like their different adventures and Toby starts giving Andrew Garfield that little bit of a pep talk.
You're amazing.
It was all perfect. And then when he's like, I'm Peter 3, I was
Fuck,
like,
that's
all of it.
mine. No,
One moment. Pick
Everybody
one.
can have adjoining moments. It'll be okay.
Okay, I'll be all done. And that's it. Thanks, guys.
The movie's only
Chris.
2.5 hours long, and we're very likely to have moments of overlap.
Yeah,
here.
but
I
Peter
mean,
3 was so random.
No, it's
So-
perfect. It's one of my favorite moments.
Chris.
You can find me Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd at Chris Adams MLP. Also over at twitch.tv/Chris Adams MLP. Doing some Twitch streaming and stuff over there. So guys, feel free to come over and follow over there. Favorite moment. It is actually kind of like a double because it's redemption pieces for both Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Andrew Garfield's redemption of saving MJ because he couldn't save Gwen.
Good one.
Yeah.
And then Tobey Maguire's redemption of stopping the glider from going into Green Goblin when Tom Holland was about to kill him.
That's
I
great.
thought
man,
both
I need
of
to
those
watch
were
this movie again. This is
I
so
thought
good.
both of those were fantastic.
Yeah.
Excellent moments with those characters.
Birthday boy Buck.
You can find me Twitter and Instagram, BrandonBuck88. Chris just stole mine. My number one moment is when Andrew gets his redemption and saves MJ. The look in his face when he lands on his feet and she's in his arms. She's like, "You okay?" And you could just see it in his face.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he's not. He is not okay.
Well,
Like,
he is
wish
now.
he's-
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's closure.
Yeah.
He's happy now.
So, yeah. Do I think we'll get a Amazing Spider-Man 3? No. Would I love to eat crow and be wrong on that? Absolutely.
I don't know. You put it out there and you
Do you think
that
Sony?
thing,
Do you think Sony could pull that off now, having concurrent Spider-Man movies running?
I don't know.
Maybe
that would be.
That wouldn't be. Oh, maybe if
I think this movie just
I will.
explained how
No,
they
no,
do
no.
it.
They wouldn't
I
have to
will
make two
only
Spider-Man
accept them
movies.
doing it if Kevin Feige works on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
He
would.
would-
If Kevin
he would
Feige
be.
the reins of one,
Yeah.
let it go.
That would be interesting to see, though.
Feige and Pascal know what they're doing.
Pascal does.
Yeah.
Y'all see her hair in those interviews?
No.
That like one piece that was like, "Save me, save me."
Ember Productions. What do you guys got?
Oh boy. So you can find me on the socials at Takara Kanashi. You can find him on the socials at Cinemaxwell and Cinemaxwell Inc. on Instagram. And then you can find us at Ember Products, Produx on socials. We'll be starting some stuff pretty soon. As for my favorite moment, I definitely love the moment when they're all on the top of the school and they're talking about the specific reasons. Like Peter's like, "Don't talk to me about how you understand," and then they're like, they don't force it in his face, which is something that I have always hated that people do with their trauma, that they try to one up you with it. They just lay it in his lap and they say, "Hey, look, this is why we know, this is why we understand." And it's a very touching, sweet moment. I love everything about the dynamic of them, about the brotherhood. And I wanted more of it. Like, that's probably why it's my number one MCU movie and probably why it's my number one Spider-Man movie, because it really tied up all of these things. And it made it gave me so much love. I was like, I just want him forever. And then
I
my other
would
favorite
mind
moment
seeing
was
a
Wanda came to
full
that
movie
trailer.
with all three,
Hey!
though.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great just get another one with all three of them.
I do like that Amber sitting there describing, and my brother's over there like headbanging like 90s grunge band.
Chris gets me on a level. And also,
he's like listening to Smells Like Teen Spirit over there.
did you hear my other favorite moment? Wanda's hand in the trailer? Thank you. Yes. All of it the same?
I have two favorite moments. One is the scene on the school roof, because I think that is the high water mark of having the three Spider-Men together. People smarter than me have said that if you take this entire Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy as a whole, the entirety is his origin story. It's not about the spider bite. It's about him becoming Spider-Man. Up until this movie, he's theoretically been Spider-Boy. And it was the death of Aunt May and the lessons that he's learned from the other older, more experienced Spider-Men that teach him how to cope and how to be the hero he needs to be. And that is reinforced by that scene on the roof where Toby and Andrew are able to share their collective trauma and experiences that they've learned, impart their wisdom onto Tom's Spider-Man and help him grow and learn. And I would argue, out of any Spider-Man movie, this is the one where, in the notion of with great power comes great responsibility, has the most impact. Because we get to spend 3 movies with Marissa Tomei's Aunt May. In Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, in the first Amazing Spider-Man, we get like 10 minutes of screen time total with Uncle Ben. His death feels like a necessary placeholder, not a true emotional moment. But losing Aunt May here and the impact it has on Tom's Peter and the lessons they impart have impact. My other favorite moment is the same as Chris, where Andrew gets to save MJ from falling, and that look on his face is beautiful. This movie is all about redemption,
Healing.
and that to me is spectacular.
Honestly, the whole damn movie is my favorite moment. Just the whole stamp it and end it.
Colin, what do you got, bud?
So for me,
jeez.
this movie was incredible with its ability to take for damn near 21 years of controversy of who's the best Spider-Man. Well, if you take whenever Amazing Spider-Man came out, I've always said that Andrew was a better Spider-Man, Toby was a better Peter. And this movie allowed Tom to soak up the best of both worlds and really show that he has become Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Peter Parker for this new generation is not Tobey Maguire. For my brother, who's 17 years old, it's Peter Parker from the PS4 video game. It's that
Still the
kid
best.
who is a brilliant scientist who is going out of his
He's
way.
also been Spider-Man for 10 years.
What?
Yeah.
He's also been Spider-Man for 10 years. in
Right.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a bit of like but there's more to him. There's an adultness to him.
Yeah, like 10 years in like actual Spider-Man story means he's only 27. He's still like a young buck.
Right. Yeah. And there's lessons to be learned, in this movie really allowed Tom to become that character that I think is going to have, for lack of a better word, legs to go on for 3 more movies, which I think if you look at Toby, are there 3 more movies after 3? I don't know. You'd have to stretch. Is there 1 more or 2 more Andrew Garfield movies? Sure, but I don't know if there's 3 more. But now with this new beginning, we're in uncharted waters where they can really go into some true Spider-Man stories and really set this thing apart. As for my favorite moment, Andrew Garfield, to me, I mean, he's one of my favorite actors of all time. His performances in Social Network and now with Tick Tick Boom have really just kind of have blown me away. And for him to be able to come back like this, fall right back into the role, and it's Peter 3 for me. My favorite my favorite line of the whole movie is Peter 3.
Peter 3.
It's a microcosm of the former conversation of him not saying I'm amazing. Toby sits there for 30 seconds and tries to get him to say, "You're amazing." Say it. You're amazing, dude. You're awesome. Say it, dude. He doesn't say it, and it's just this little microcosm of Peter Parker's just self-doubt. And that is so beautiful to me that he's able to portray that, because he's like, I always thought he was so great with the mask on, but for Andrew to have a great moment with the mask off for me, and plus, of course, him saving MJ. The second I saw MJ falling, I was like, well, if Andrew's in the movie, he's saving her.
Yeah.
Toby and Andrew both were 27 when they got cast as Peter Parker.
Wow.
And Tom's only 25. He's already done 6 movies.
I think I heard. I think he was 17 when he got casted in Civil War. I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. Something like that.
So yeah, he's been doing this.
Well, let's just do the math. He's 25 now, and
He was 20.
that was
Well,
2016.
Honestly,
Yeah.
at the beginning of the whole thing, when they casted him, Feige was saying that he wanted to do this like Harry Potter with Spider-Man, where you watch him grow up through a series of movies. So we're gonna get that. It looks like.
His performance is his best performance
Embrace
is still
it, Jake.
the lip sync battle.
Jake, it is not my pillow, it's Maxwell's pillow.
Umbrella came on Thursday while I was driving in the car.
Oh, I just played that video all the time.
When the sun's
yeah.
finally shine together.
I'm gonna jump ahead to Jesse so he can end the stream. But speaking of what you said, Colin, Toby was the best Peter and Andrew's the best Spider-Man. I believe that's what you said.
Yes.
And when they come through the portal, Andrew comes through as Spider-Man. Toby comes through as Peter.
Yeah.
Ooh, a little bit of symbolism as a youth pastor, and so that speaks to that too, and the way that happened. I didn't realize it until you just said it, actually.
Yeah.
So my favorite moment was already said, and it's always, and if you go back and watch all of our Hawkeye reviews for the last 5 weeks, and our new one coming up Thursday, it's always the emotional moments that get to me. It's not whether it's happy or sad; it's the moments that pull your heartstrings, make you tear up a bit, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's the entirety of, from the moment you see Aunt May get wrecked by that glider, and you know she's fucked up, whether she shows it yet or not. And that whole time she's stumbling around like she's dead, like she's literally like a walking corpse right now. She's about to fall over. And they played that perfectly. You get the line, and I don't remember. I think everyone has already said it. You get to see Aunt May. You get to live with Aunt May for the last 5 years, and not just Uncle Ben for a few minutes. I think Maxwell said that, where he's only in the movie for 10 minutes. And thinking back to Homecoming, they never, or actually thinking back to Civil War, they never once mention an Uncle Ben. They don't mention an uncle of any kind.
Far From Home is the first time you see his initials on Peter's suitcase that he's taking with him to Europe.
Sure.
And I don't remember if it's Homecoming or Civil War.
Dad.
He mentions
Civil
that
War.
she has been through enough.
Yes, thank you, Buck, for saying what I'm trying to say. He never
goddamn, I will
mentions
mute this
Uncle
entire
Ben. He
stream
never
so
talks
talk.
about it. He says she has been through enough. So they infer it, of course, and we all know the history because we've been through this before. But we never know for sure. We don't know for 100%. So them just giving Aunt May the Uncle Ben story arc was fantastic. I didn't see it coming. I didn't think that was ever going to happen. For me, Tom Hanks was Uncle Ben always. He was always home. Like I was waiting for them to bring him in a flashback scene of some kind. That's what I wanted to happen before I saw this movie. But now I think they did it perfectly. This whole thing was leading up to Spider-Boy becoming Spider-Man. And the entire scene from her dying to the rooftop to them just sharing their grief. And for me, it was a callback because I've seen Spider-Verse a million times of them basically the scene in his room where they say, we're the people who know what you're feeling the most out of anyone in the whole universe because we've all been through this too. So let's all sit together. So that's my favorite moment. Yes. Yes, Jake.
Wingblade wants to kill Tom Hanks. Yeah, that's what I
All
heard.
right, Jesse, take us home, bud.
Good. Don't put words in my mouth.
All right. Well, unfortunately, there's no way home.
Take us home.
But I want to first thank everybody that has been part of the stream, whether that be Chris, Allison, Robert, Sean, Buck, Amber, Maxwell, Colin, and I'm going to thank myself because that's kind of the person I am, and also PJ for the time that he spent on the show. Thank you so much. My favorite moments, first thing that was coming to mind when you guys were rattling off all the big moments was anything with Willem Dafoe's Norman Osborn, especially doing the voice when you're struggling to have everything you want. That's my favorite. But also when Andrew first comes through the portal, the scene that follows of just like him hanging from the ceiling and getting bread tossed at him, I was cackling. It's like, what about your tingle? It's like, I have a tingle, just not for bread. And then he has to go and like do the cobwebs. It's just that entire scene. Nothing beat it. Like after that, like there was emotional things that beat it, but that was like the height of my I'm having a good time, I think. Yeah.
Can you clear the cobweb while you're up there?
Speaking of what you said
So
with
funny.
Defoe becoming an expert MMA fighter, that entire hallway fight scene in the apartment complex, holy shit, that was awesome.
I love the amount of suplexes in this movie. Lots of suplexes.
Yes.
All right, guys.
That was some
thank you.
anime shit with the Willem Dafoe power up where he's like punching him through 2 floors of the apartment complex. And you're like, well, this is a bit much. Like, wow, that came out.
If you rewatch the first Spider-Man, he kicked Toby's ass.
He does.
The entire final
He
scene.
does.
Toby just gets mad and hulks out for a moment.
Punch through 2 floors of an apartment building.
Real quick as we end this though, at the end of the movie where Tom Holland is getting his own apartment in New York, that scene begins with him talking to the landlord. Was anyone else hoping that it was going to be the same landlord from Tobey Maguire?
Dickovich? Oh, I absolutely
Mr.
thought-
Dickovich. I was rent. Hi, what's high? Can I
Oh,
spend it?
apparently you have a Streamlabs.
What? Oh,
Streamlabs.
Before we go.
Well, once again, hang on. I got to play
My
the
money, I
audio.
need it now.
Dude, if they would have pulled Mr. Dickovich, that would have been hilarious. And
I mean,
what if
they
actually-
literally could just use this.
It's my money and I need it now. It's my money and I need it now.
We got
You
our
have literally the
third.
best soundboard. Holy shit.
I'm gonna work on it. It's good, but it needs more on it. For the third time, the overly
I need to know
generous
how you do a
Jake
soundboard
Yakubeta.
on this.
I can help you with that. It's very. I have a simple fix for it. Anyway,
okay.
Jake Yakubeta donating $5 again. Thank you so very much. Said I also have to give a shout out to Colin. I mistook you for another Colin like a week ago, and I may have said you had twat takes the first time I was in the chat. But I'm glad you're here. You do good work, my friend. Much love.
I
So is
will
this
let
a
you know
variant call?
who it was after we're off.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys.
That was
Thank you so
great.
very much. From all of us and from myself, it's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. This has been an incredible journey. And I'm sure we have many more
Maxwell
fun
said
journeys
wait.
to come.
Jesse,
What?
yeah. Just,
Maxwell said wait.
just wait.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Just one
Jesse's like,
final
I
thing.
want to go to bed.
The
so
scene
bad.
at
we know.
the coffee shop was just heartbreaking to watch for.
Yeah.
That was done
at the
so
end.
well.
That's
we
Well
didn't
done,
even
so
we didn't even touch on the end, like the wrap up of how he chooses not he because he was gonna tell her 100%.
Will
and she
he
brushes
ever
the
tell
hair
her?
back and sees the injury on her head, and he realizes he's
So-
like, I'm no good for them. I'm
That-
just gonna
that's
keep
the-
putting.
So
them
will
in.
he ever tell her?
That's the thing that I think like
That's
the
why he's
trailer
in
kind of
green.
misled us. When
Hey.
when the
My money and I need it now. It's my money and I need it now.
when the trailer came out, it was saying like make everyone forget. I was like, all you got to do is just tell people and remind
Right.
them. But it didn't like it sounded like they were like, I'm gonna try to make everyone forget I'm Spider-Man, not forget Peter Parker altogether.
Right. It's a different way that went.
It was
about
weird.
We did get another Streamlabs from somebody that I swear is just trying to be spiteful and keep me on camera, but
No, we're
I
not.
love them so very much. And that is the very kind Maxwell and Amber sending over $50 from Imper Production. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. That is awesome.
Producers of the
Because
show.
you dealt with us not being on camera for so long, and then we get back on camera and we derailed the whole fucking show. So we love
it says party. It says party, and we had
It's
a
a
party.
party.
It was a good time. I just happened to be getting very tired. It says, and then Jesse falls asleep on stream. Not quite, but I was on my way.
He was not drunk at Spectacular. He was just exhausted.
That's
if you,
true.
If you saw him stumbling around
I
Barney's,
also wasn't drunk at Spectacular, but acted like I was.
You broke your ankle, you dummy.
yeah, she was broken. You fell into my arms, and I didn't catch you. I'm sorry.
No, I fell into the floor, basically.
You fell into a table.
Going to catch her than I was, and you did not.
Look
so.
at this big, beautiful thing.
Alrighty.
Good
night, everybody.
I was right
Yeah,
behind you when
basically.
that happened. You fell into a table.
In other words, thank you all so very much for coming on. Until next time, which will be what is today? Today's Saturday. So we'll see you
Technically Sunday.
Thursday.
For everyone but Jesse and Sean.
We're going to see
Happy
you
birthday,
Thursday.
Buck. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Buck.
Hi.
Happy
We'll
birthday,
see you
Buck.
Thursday
Happy birthday,
for
Buck.
the series finale of Hawkeye, Thursday night review.
Oh, it's
Wednesday,
gonna be so
I am
good.
seeing Matrix. Maybe I'll talk about it. We'll see how that goes. All right, guys. Until next time, keep it real. We appreciate you being here. It's been a blast, and bye-bye.
This is the sound of dun, 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 dun. It's the Flick and Reel Show. But